Let's roll. Time to step up and in. Motherfucking Google Hangouts blew my perfect intro. I had the music rolling. We were ready to go. Ready to throw down. False start, penalty on the first play of the game. False start. 5 yards. 1st and 15. Settle down, Bruce, Chad. I swear to God, anytime, we're ready to go. Dill Douglas. Get the fuck out of here, Joe. What's your deal, Lisi? Go fuck yourself. Rot in hell. Fake Joe Lisi. The fuck out of here. Really? I haven't even opened up the show yet, man. Is this what it's come to? Are we opening up like this? Fuck. All right. You're gone. I got to give you credit, though. You really are a big fan of mine. If I was a big fan of a porn star or something and she told me, I think you're a vile piece of human fucking filth, and I just kept showing up in her chat every night, I must really fucking love her. You're a vile piece of filth. I hate you. I don't like you. This isn't even a game between me and you or anything like that. I sincerely don't like you. I wish ill will upon you. I wish you nothing but fucking malice and pestilence. Got people fucking starving right now without electricity in Puerto Rico. We got fuckheads using their electricity and their luxurious, cushy lifestyle to troll people. Fake Joe Lisi, you're gone. Yes. The first record, malice and forethought. The second record, malice and pestilence. All right, so Babano's going to step up and in. Babano's going to step up and in. Babano's real negative guy, too. Babano's real negative, so it should be a negative show tonight. No, I'm just kidding. No, really. Babano's like the nicest guy that we have that comes on the week. Like Big Man on campus and Donnie Rightside are good, but are they as nice as Babano? Like if your car broke down and you're like, excuse me, my car broke down. Can I use your phone? What's Big Man on campus say? Big Man on campus is saying, get the fuck off my property. I think Donnie Rightside, Donnie seems like the type of guy that would look out the window and he reaches under the desk and he pulls out a Glock. Don't worry, honey, I got this. Donnie's like, yeah, what do you want? I could see Donnie all smiling, but really he's got a fucking Glock locked behind his fucking in the back. Yeah, sorry, I can't help you. My phone doesn't work. Donnie's got the weapon. Big Man on campus opens the door and a wife beater in his fucking underwear. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, Babana would be like, sure, come on in. Would you like a glass of lemonade? I'm making sandwiches if you'd like one. I'm about to sit down and watch the Hamilton Tiger Cat game if you'd like to hang out. And me, they wouldn't knock on my door. They'd just walk in. I'd have someone walk right in, and it wouldn't even freak me out. I'd be like, oh, yeah, sure, yeah, whatever. Babano. Babano's like Costanza, like in Seinfeld that sticks in your head. Babano. I've told I told Babano he's a handicapper. He's got to do some fucking ads, man. Like, get rich like Tony Soprano, bet like Babano. Yeah, it's nearly basketball season, so I got my Raptor gear out. This is my my Jimmy Fallon Raptor gear. No shit. Hey, settle down, Andrew G. I'm not 50. Whoa, hey. Hey, come on. I'm not 50. I'm not 50 yet. You're fit. You look great, Morency. I have the president and CEO of the Fantasy Sports Network DMing me. I better respond to him. I don't have a lot of bosses, but this guy really is one of my bosses. Wall Street guy. Actually, buddies with Donald Trump. So one thing I got to say about the Fantasy Sports Network, they've never, I'm sure I said a lot of things that upset them. I'm sure they don't agree with a lot of my views on things, but they love me anyways. That's the type of leeway you get as a 50-year-old man. Meanwhile, Zach the other night was freaking out. Zach from SBR, I didn't see his messages. It's fucking gold. Remember, yeah, the whole protest shit came up the other night. And me and Malinsky were talking about it. I guess Zach was sending me and Dave messages during the conversation. Stop talking about politics. People are freaking out. It's getting hostile. I only saw it the next day, and I just chuckled at it. What are you going to do? Like, I don't sit here. I have a lot of political views. I'm not sharing them with you right now. We're going to talk football with Babano. But, you know, if people are fucking protesting and we're talking about football games where people are protesting, it's hard not to come up. So speaking of which, Babano's going to give us the insight. We all know Babano's best friend is Johnny Manziel. If you didn't know that, Johnny Manziel and Babano are tight. They go way back. The whole reason Johnny Manziel was even in Costa Rica for the IFBC was because of Babano. I believe it was Babano's connections that set this up. I think they went to the same summer camp together. They were in the Boy Scouts together, I believe. That'd be a good name too, actually. Boy Scouts. BoyScoutPicks.com. Yeah, Babano. I noticed Babano's using like the same picture though. Like he's like Mick Aussie. Mick Aussie's like fucking 56 or something. The guy's TV fucking avatar picture is like a shot when he's 22. And it's kind of disorientating because you're looking, it's like something's off here. It's like Mick superimposed his young face on his body or something. And I clued in with Babano as well. We had a picture of Babano up on TV the other day, and I'm like, Babano looks like he's about 22, 23 here. So either Babano's hanging on to the past or it's a recent picture and the gaming industry has fucked him up. Now, we told Babano to be on at 10:10. It's 10:11 right now. I don't know. Can we trust a handicapper who's a minute late? Cam Stewart, you're getting pretty lazy, fuckface. Joe Lisi's funny. Cam Stewart, low-hanging fruit. I can fucking fire bullets at you all night. I'm out of, there's nothing more I can do with this kid, all right? There's nothing more I can do with this kid. He's obsessed with me. I booted this guy out of my fucking chat rooms and shows. I don't know, man. 2,000 times now, maybe? How many years has it been? But as long as you are aware that this is no little game or something like that, I sincerely don't like you. I don't care about you. I don't lose sleep over you, but I don't like you. But at the same point in time, I understand I provide a service for losers like you that don't have anything fucking going on. That, you know, you fucking jumping in my chat is kind of the thrill of your fucking life. So at the same point in time, I am doing a service to society, because if you weren't here right now trolling me, you'd probably be on a fucking subway fucking taking upskirt pictures of fucking chicks fucking miniskirts on the bus. Well, look who's kind enough to fucking join us. Like, tell the guy fucking 10:10. It's 10:13 right now. That's 3 minutes short. I'm cutting into his time because of this. Cutting into his time. It's 3 minutes less of fucking karaoke with Babano. Babano. What's up, Babano?
Where the fuck did you get that from? Is that By Men? And is that what you're referencing? That old Speed Stick commercial or whatever that was, like 20 years ago? Is that where that came from?
What do you mean, where'd I get it from? I got it from my brain, Babano. Babano.
That's the only thing I remember. By Men and those old commercials. That's where I thought it came from. But
come on. I thought you considered yourself. I thought you considered yourself a Seinfeld aficionado, Babano. Pretty weak. Come on.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was from Seinfeld. Yeah, my bad. You're right. Actually, there was an episode. Now that I think about it,
George Costanza said that you plant his names in a girl's head, and it sticks in her head like the Menon commercial. Costanza. You're right. I'd remember that. But it sounds even better. Babano.
It does, actually. Way to go. It does. I'll give you credit for that, Bobano. Karaoke ain't
I've got much better ideas than you do. I mean, yeah. What are your ideas to promote yourself?
Yeah, exactly. Tony Soprano was a good idea. I don't know if Sports Memo is going to allow me to talk about a mobster in terms of promoting their website.
Oh, yeah, I know, because the sports handicapping business is a real clean-cut fucking industry. Right? You wouldn't want to offend anybody. I always love that when these companies are like, you know, I'm a little worried about that. It's like, oh, yeah. You guys are shaking people down for fucking money and fucking charging 20% big, but you're worried about the language. All right.
I got no issues with it. It's just the Sports Memo is pretty rigid, some of these people there. So what can I say? There's no karaoke tonight, folks.
Why not?
Unfortunately, it's canceled. We're dealing with a little bit of a sore throat problem the last day or two. It's it's bad enough for me being able to sing.
You're soft.
I know, to be able to sing properly with a
Babano, I have a sore throat. I do 3 hits. I do 3 hits a week. I'm my poor pipes. I'm yelling for 18 hours a day, Babano.
No, it's true.
Get it together, dude. Suck it up, man.
I gotta be. Hey, listen to me. Tom Petty, one of my favorites, an all-time legend, 40th anniversary tour for him and the Heartbreakers. He had to pull out of a gig in Monterey and Sacramento last month for laryngitis. He just couldn't do it. What are you going to do? Go on stage and concert with laryngitis? You're just not going to be able to sing properly. Had to cancel those things. So unfortunately, I'm in the boat here where I don't think I'll be able to perform karaoke to 100% of the level I was hoping to do. So I can't do it.
You're actually comparing yourself to Tom Petty.
Yeah, I'm comparing my situation to Tom Petty. Am I comparing my musical talent to Tom Petty? Fuck no.
Tom Petty has a sore throat because he's on the fucking road every night. And he's been singing for the last 62 years.
Yeah, he has. He's been going at it forever. He's allowed to have throat issues and congestion and laryngitis every now and then. But I'm just saying, I'm bad enough singing karaoke when my voice works at 100%. Now with sore throat, it's going to even sound worse. Like, really, there's no shot in hell of me sounding any good doing karaoke tonight. I could give you some words, and do a quick little thing, but doing an extendo version tonight's going to be tough.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ever actually sounded good. That's the whole point, Babano.
No, I would argue it hasn't looked good. We've come up with some good lyrics, but in terms of me actually singing them and making them sound good, that's a fate worse than death, putting people through that. So that's the only issue, and it's going to be worse now that we're dealing with being able to raise our voice and go into that falsetto voice or whatever I got to do to hit a high note. Can't do it right now. I'm just going to end up cracking the voice like Rick Jenneret. These cars. It's not going to sound any. Yeah.
I feel bad busting Babano's balls so much because he's such a nice guy, but it's just so easy to do. And like I was thinking the same thing. Like, I love the look, Babano. You got the SBR computer going on here. But it's almost like, it looks like Babano's joining us from like a classroom. Like, Babano's joining us from a classroom. He's starting at the desk behind him. And people in the chat are saying they're going to send you some stuff, some memorabilia for your shelf here.
Yeah, it would be excellent. We got to add some shit to it, but that's okay. It's Professor Cameron right now. What can I say? That's Dave Morency, actually. He's the real professor. He's been at it for decades. He's been doing it a long time. He probably has a better memory than I do. But hopefully we're going to drop some betting knowledge for football here on the late night anger management class. It's always the goal on Wednesday night. And usually it's karaoke. It's usually, picks and karaoke, football and karaoke.
See, Grinch is saying, Grinch in Arizona says you look like you're in a dorm room. I think you look like an elementary school teacher. You look like an elementary school teacher in the classroom, yet the kids are gone right now, and your night job is handicapper. But during the day, you're a teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
See,
I know a couple.
That's a sitcom right there. See, I know a couple great ideas. That's a sitcom right there. Teacher by day, handicapper by night with Babano.
See, I love doing the handicapping. I wouldn't love doing the teaching. And I like kids. I've got nothing wrong with kids. But being a teacher, it just doesn't fly with me. It's just not something I would want to do. Doesn't fit me as a person, something I'd want to do as a career. And that's no disrespect to teachers. Teachers are good. They get kids to learn in the classroom. I appreciate that. Get them ready for the workforce. I understand that. But just not me. Not my cup of tea being a teacher. Just isn't.
All right, I'm going fucking crazy with this stupid fucking Google Hangout fucking shit. I do have the box. I'm in the box. I don't know what happens with this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It should just go back and forth, but I can't tell though. I'm watching like the YouTube feed. I'm like a minute behind, but I believe we're going back and forth now. All right, so let's get down to business. Babano, we'll start talking some football here, but before we do, your good friend Johnny Manziel. First off, I see the commissioner of the CFL writes out a list of conditions for Johnny Manziel to play in the CFL. I must have missed something. Did Johnny Manziel kill his fucking girlfriend and his ex-wife? And a waiter like OJ? What's this condition bullshit? What did Johnny? I guess Johnny did have a domestic incident in court, but no one really thought that Johnny Manziel was beating the crap out of women or anything like that. It was just sort of an argument that got too loud. But at the same point in time, acting all high and mighty on Johnny Manziel if he meets certain conditions. The fuck are you guys talking about, fuck? Meet certain conditions. Your player of the week gets a fucking $50 gift certificate for Canadian Tire. Fuck. Certain conditions, So Johnny Manziel seems to understand. A little late in the season for Johnny to come in now, anyways. But it looks like next year's a long time away. So who knows if Manziel will actually still be interested in this next year? But if he wants to play football, Hamilton's a good place for him to do it, and it's perfect. He can hang out with you.
Yeah, it would be
keep him out of trouble.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like the parent, the dad watching Johnny Manziel. Hey, Johnny, put that coke down right now. Put that cocaine out, but get rid of that shit. You're not doing that on my watch right now. I could keep my eye on him. Exactly. Make sure he minds his P's and Q's. But in all seriousness, Manziel and the CFL, Morency, I think it's right not to have him sign a contract this late in the season. What have we got left? We've got a month and a little bit left here. In the regular season in the CFL. He'd be joining a team late. He has no clue about the Canadian playbook, and the offense is obviously a big difference between American and Canadian football in that regard. Let him start fresh. Let him start prior to the 2018 season. If Hamilton signs him, great. If they decide not to, they got to either sign or they got to trade his rights or waive his rights to another CFL team would then be able to pick them up. But either way, I think Johnny Manziel, Gabe, is going to be in the CFL in 2018. Even in his quote saying, I'm okay with not joining a team this late in the season, disrupting a team's chemistry, shaking it up to that regard. I think you're going to see Manziel in the CFL next season without a doubt. It's just a question of which team he signs with. And I think the CFL is a little bit harsh in this situation. It's almost like they've put him through like a vetting process. Well, they have put him through a vetting process here for stuff that, there's been people in the football world that have done a lot worse shit than Johnny Manziel, and yet they're vetting him to the nth degree, to the tits, basically, and putting him through all these different interviews.
The CFL has a real complex issue, and they've always been this way. They don't want to be seen like they'll take anybody, like a reject or a criminal, so to speak. And we've seen this in the past. They won't sign, like, they respect NFL contracts, which is something I wouldn't do. I wouldn't respect an NFL contract if I was a CFL team. Why? Why? You know, like Paul Tagliabue used to work closely with the Canadian Football League, and he used to give the CFL money, if you remember, Babano.
Yeah, he did. He did. Goodell's done fuck all for the CFL. I'd feel the same way.
Each team in the CFL used to get $1 million from the NFL. So it was basically the NFL owners would kick in $8 million. It was 8 teams in the league. They'd kick in $8 million. They'd give it to the CFL. And for that right, all right, for the rights to that, there was a 10-day window. All right, there was a 10-day window in which the NFL teams could take anybody they wanted from the CFL rosters. And the NFL owners liked it. It was working. It was good for the CFL. It was sort of, you know, there was a little bit of there was a symmetry between the two leagues going. And Paul Tagliabue really built this. And he thought, because we talked about this last night, actually, about the NFL not having a farm system. And Paul Tagliabue thought, you know what? Canada's perfect for this, actually. So let's just throw them a couple of $1 million and we have the rights to pluck their players if we want. And i.e. Jeff Garcia, San Francisco 49er quarterback, very successful career in the National Football League. Cameron Wake. You know, we can go down the list of impact players that have come from the CFL into the NFL. And remember, I used to do the play-by-play for the World Global Junior Championships. You know, it was Team Canada versus whatever state of high school all-stars where the Super Bowl was. There were teams from Japan. There was teams from Mexico, teams from Germany. They were building the sport of football. Paul Tagliabue put a lot of work into this. Roger Goodell came in, fucking killed it all, Babano. He killed NFL Europe. He killed the World Global shit. He killed the relationship with the CFL. He just fucking killed everything, Roger Goodell.
Yeah, I remember there was the CFL, NFL Europe. You know, he had those teams, Frankfurt, Germany, and all that. I remember watching some of those games too, way back when in my teenage years, my youth, watching NFL Europe, I remember. And what happened to this spring development league that they were talking about having these last couple of years? That thing has hit the skids and is completely crapped out from what I've read. So apparently that may not be happening.
That was a joke. Yeah, that whole thing was a joke. So Johnny Manziel to the CFL, okay. Thing with Johnny Manziel is I think Johnny Manziel would be a good quarterback in the CFL. He could be a very good quarterback in the CFL. But Colin Kaepernick is on another level. And, you know, now we hear today that the Montreal Alouettes have offered Kaepernick a deal. Kaepernick hasn't responded. They submitted an offer to the agent, but Kaepernick has stayed silent on this. Word is, I just saw David Naylor saying Kaepernick, he's not doing it. The Kaepernick is, it's NFL or bust. And the thing with Kaepernick is, unlike Manziel, Kaepernick has money. Manziel's family has money, but they sort of cut him off a bit. You know, Kaepernick has real money. Word on the street is Kaepernick's got like $40 to $50 million still. So Kaepernick doesn't need money. He can ride this out. And I don't even know if Kaepernick loves football. That's the thing. I think Johnny Manziel, you know, likes the game, loves the game, wants to play and have fun. I think Kaepernick is more of a job and a business to him than anything. Look, the guy wouldn't take a fucking $3 million a year pay cut to be the quarterback of the fucking Denver Broncos. That's the thing. All you guys, and listen, I've said this before. I totally support Kaepernick's political stances and his right to do the stuff that he does. But at the same point in time, I've said this before. Kaepernick hasn't shown anyone that he wants to be a quarterback. Not to mention, if you take the rushing yards out of it, he's actually ranked 32nd out of 32 quarterbacks last year. His accuracy is off. He's not really into it. He's never loved football. Even when he was on the San Francisco 49ers, guys, he only got along with Harbaugh, really. Like, Harbaugh understood how to push his buttons and deal with the kid. But the San Francisco 49ers, even when they were good, they used to complain about Kaepernick, that he never talked to anybody, that he would have his headphones on, he wouldn't talk to anybody, and they said the same thing at the time. They said, I don't even think the kid likes football, to be honest with you. I think he's just here because he's here and he can make money doing this. So he doesn't have a passion for the game. So I don't think he'll end up with the Alouettes. But I swear to fucking God, if he did, the Alouettes would fucking kill. Like, you know, Colin Kaepernick would fucking destroy CFL competition, Babano.
I think it's a good time for the Montreal Alouettes to look into a Colin Kaepernick, because the way you see it with that franchise right now, it's turned into a complete disaster, a sinking ship with the Alouettes, all thanks to Kavis Reed. As I've said on multiple occasions, that guy has ruined this team from a GM perspective, and now it's going to get even worse now that he's got the entire organization under his thumb, and he's got the GM and the head coaching responsibilities. Now it's going to get worse, not better, with the Alouettes. So fans are going to get upset. Fans are going to get pissed off. Percival Molson Stadium, people People are going to start not showing up if you keep going on the downward path.
You're
what better
exactly
way to try
right.
to turn the fans back than Colin Kaepernick, bringing a guy like that in, getting some excitement, some pizzazz, for Christ's sake, back in this franchise. It's worth a shot.
Don't forget, the Alouettes have had a history of this, Babano, right? Go back a ways. Vince Ferragamo, who, of course, played in the Super Bowl with the LA Rams. Vince Ferragamo was quarterback in Montreal. They signed Heisman Trophy winner Johnny Rodgers in the 70s. Marv Levy was their coach. Lawrence Phillips led the Montreal Alouettes to a Grey Cup championship. So, the Alouettes haven't shied away from bigger names or controversial names, yet he's just not going to do it. Kaepernick, like I said, if you don't want to play for John Elway and the Denver fucking Broncos, all right, last year, he went to Denver. He met them. He sat down. John Elway told him, listen, I don't really like all your protest shit, but whatever. Fuck. You want to be the quarterback here? We need a quarterback. Well, you can be the quarterback, but I can only give you $7 million, maybe 8, 7, 8. And Kaepernick fucking made 11. And Kaepernick said it's a non-starter. He basically told him, I'll be your quarterback, but I can't take a cent pay cut. I won't do it. And here we are right now. So it's not like Kaepernick hasn't had his chances. So I don't even think he gives a shit. So it's all fantasy talk. He's not going to be playing for the CFL. He's not going to be on the Montreal Alouettes. I think Manziel will, but Kaepernick won't.
Yeah, I agree. It's Manziel, yes. I'd be doubtful about Kaepernick.
Oh, Michael Sam, another guy. You're right. I forgot about that. The Alouettes love the fucking circus shit.
They do. They like bringing in the controversial figures that have had American football experience, that are polarizing characters, polarizing players, that have really caught the mainstream media and football fans' attention in the United States. I mean, Colin Kaepernick's got to be thinking, though, right now, sees everybody in the last, couple of weeks that have been kneeling during national anthems, and I'm still being fucking ostracized by the NFL and so many teams in terms of being given a spot. And now everybody else has followed his directive here, kneeling on the sideline.
I don't want to relive it. Let's get to the games. But we've been down this before with Kaepernick. Yes. Is he better than fucking, every backup in the NFL right now? Yes. But the thing is, how many starters is he better than? How many teams can you really say in the NFL, this guy shouldn't be their starter, Kaepernick should be their starter? Who? Go down the list. I can think of one team, the New York Jets. Yep. McCown's fucking terrible. Okay, McCown's a joke.
He might be better than Deshaun Kaiser right now, based on what I've seen from Kaiser.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, but you're the Cleveland Browns. You're rebuilding a young team. You don't need a fucking circus sideshow. And you don't want to pay fucking $11 million a year to Kaepernick. Another thing is you got to retool your offense around. He's not a drop-back pocket passer. Run. Listen, Harbaugh's a genius. So Harbaugh knew how to use Kaepernick. And, it's very simple. Without fucking Harbaugh, Kaepernick's nothing. You need someone in this guy's mind. You need to push all the buttons. You need to baby him. You need to fucking agree with him. You need to be, it's a fucking load in the world to deal with Kaepernick. And he's not a starter. So then secondly, I'm not going to pay. He doesn't want to take a pay cut. So what? Are we going to give you 11? I'm a Bills fan. I'm not going to give you $11 million to be Tyrod Taylor's backup. Fuck. And then what? So we can have fucking media in our fucking room every day talking about fucking, politics. It is a distraction. He's not that great. So, I like Colin Kaepernick. I defend his right to protest shit. But I also see the argument that, you know what? Anywhere, really. He's a good fit for the Montreal Alouettes.
Yeah, I agree. That's your best chance. Hey, and Colin Kaepernick eventually is going to get to the point, we don't know how long this little, sojourn away from the NFL is going to be for Kaepernick. But eventually, if it becomes an extended stay outside of the NFL for Colin Kaepernick, at some point, and it's going to have to take a long time, but at some point, obviously the quarterbacks in the NFL right now are going to have to stay healthy. Because, again, if we have cluster injury situations as the season goes on, maybe someone gets desperate enough.
That's a very good point.
To want to sign Colin Kaepernick.
You're totally right. You're totally right. Let's be real. Is Colin Kaepernick any better than Jacoby Brissett is?
I don't know. I don't think there's exactly. A marginal difference. If any,
exactly. And Jacoby Brissett's a good kid. He ain't going to say shit and whatever. He's going to run around. He'll be a little inaccurate, and he'll make some plays for you. And, he makes $650,000 a year. Because that's the whole thing. People are like, well, look at E.J. Manuel. He's the backup with the Raiders. EJ Manuel accepted $950,000. Colin Kaepernick wouldn't accept $8 million. You know, there's the same shit. People are, Colin Kaepernick, how come he didn't sign back up in Arizona with Stanton? Stanton with Gabbert. Gabbert accepted $5 million a year. They said, we'll give you $5 million. That's a lot of money in the real world. Gabbert's getting $5 million. He's fucking third-string quarterback. You know, Kaepernick, like I said. So anyways, I will move on for the Kaepernick stuff.
Yeah, but it's true. $5 million for clipboard duty. That's what you're looking for. That's basically what Colin Kaepernick.
The highest paid backup in the league is Chase Daniel at $7 million per, right? So you're right. You know, you get $3 to $5 million if you're a good backup. If you're, you know, third string hanger-on, or you're getting $950 million. I mean, look, Trevor fucking Simeon only makes $650,000 this year. You know, so the Denver Broncos have a quarterback that's making $650,000, or they can have Colin Kaepernick and fucking people protesting outside. You know, so I totally get it. So let's move on. Although I will. Sam Brissett is better. Don't call anybody an idiot, you fucking tool gianter. We'll get the machine gun out for you.
Yeah, Glanter plays needs to get the Hevo. He said, "Hey, Baldy" to you, so that's not right.
Oh, I didn't even see it before. Whatever. It's the same fucking bullshit. Fucking.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh. And Dave Danders, settle down. I have a feeling you're not. Like Dave Danders' real name is Dave Danders. Fuck. You're gone. Whatever, man. You're just only giving SBR hits and me hits. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. You're watching. You're adding to the population here. Yeah.
Exactly. I think they really think it bothers me. I think they really think when the show ends that I'm somehow sitting here going, "Oh my god, oh fuck."
I was not in the chat Monday night, by the way, and I hear from
I know we noticed
source. Yeah, but I know. I noticed from an outside source that was watching the show saying to me that someone actually tried to come in as Ian Cameron and couldn't even have the fucking brain to spell it with a C, put a K in there. Like, really, if you're going to troll me and do something stupid like that, have a fucking brain screwed in, please, and spell the name properly. It's Cameron with a C, you idiot. Cameron with a C, you fuckhead. Yeah. Holy shit. Are you that dumb? Are you really that stupid? Did you pass grade 2? Did you pass grade 2? Apparently not. Anyway.
Babano doesn't like being impersonated. Yeah, we have fake Ian Cameron in here. Fake Babano. We have fake Joe Lisi's, fake Babanos. All right. Aaron Rodgers. So we know what side of Aaron Rodgers on the protest stuff, because Aaron Rodgers tweeted out a picture tonight. He goes, I guess there's going to be a lot of outrage for these cameramen that are on one knee during the anthem. So we know where Aaron Rodgers stands on this. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are 7-point favorites against the Chicago Bears. Thursday night football. Over-unders 45. Not a completely shit Thursday night game compared to some of the games we've gotten, although last Thursday turned out to be an entertaining game. But I'm more intrigued with the college game tomorrow night, Babano. But let's start off with the Bears and the Packers. You know, the Bears have played well at home in 2 games. They got tattooed on the road against Tampa Bay. Aaron Rodgers has dominated these guys. They're 14-5 against the spread. 15-4 straight up the last 19 games. McCarthy and Rodgers, I guess 15-4 straight up. 14-5 against the spread. A lot of recent success. You know, you got Mike Glennon going on the road here. The Packers are beat up. I get it, but I think the number's a little short here. To me, it's like I told Lawrence today. It's either lay the points or pray. Lay or pray.
Lay or pray.
You're praying that Mike Glennon doesn't throw 4 interceptions if you bet on the Bears.
You are, and that's always the case. And Chicago's got to keep Green Bay at arm's length here. They got to stay close, got to stay within 1 score. They are not going to be able to move the ball through the air, Chicago. Or at least I don't trust Mike Glennon to do that if they fall behind by 2 scores or more. So they've got to stay with Green Bay. They can't afford to fall behind. That being said, Morency, it's not a game I have a huge opinion on, but Green Bay is still not lay a 7 points team right now for me. I had Cincinnati last week, was able to cash that one wire to wire, a game the Bengals should have won. Found some way to fuck it up in bungle style at the end, which you're not surprised to see. You're not at all shocked to see that. But Green Bay's got cluster injury issues on the offensive line still. They haven't been able to run the football with great effectiveness. Chicago's going to be looking to run the ball here in this game. They are going to be looking to do that, and Green Bay has shown a little bit of a vulnerability.
Didn't Chicago look to run the ball when they went to Tampa Bay 2 weeks ago?
They did, but
what happened?
That didn't work. And you're right. That was
29, not 29-3 or whatever the fuck it was. They're a shitty road team, dude. They're a bad road team.
They have been. But I'm not in love with this Green Bay team at this point in time. I'm really not.
The Bears 1-9 against the spread off a home game.
Yep.
That's a great track record they've got.
And, of course, you got a road team, Thursday night, short week, having to travel. That's always something that favors the home team. There's no question. Situationally, it's much better for Green Bay, but they are still not a team right now that I'm trusting laying 7 or more. I'd like them at a much cheaper range than that. Obviously, they're the better team, better quarterback, but I got issues with Green Bay right now. They're just not a team I'm looking to lay big points with. So it's Chicago or pass, but I don't trust the Bears on the road.
You're not betting the game.
Pass, yep.
No pick from Babano. Babano's becoming like Teddy. No pick. All right, so what do you like, Babano?
Well, you just tell me what you like for the football card on Thursday. The Texas-Iowa State game, well, NFL, we'll stay on that track while we're at it.
Yeah, sure, stick in the NFL right now. It's fine. Yeah. Whatever you want, either one. But, yeah, let's stick in the NFL.
Yeah, we'll go over to college after. But, yeah, NFL, I gave this as my roundtable best bet earlier in the day. So let's reinforce that to anyone that maybe didn't watch the roundtable, even though you should be. I'm on the LA Rams this week, plus the points against the Dallas Cowboys. I like this Rams team in an underdog role. They're going to be scrappy, feisty, competitive. There's a huge upgrade in coaching. Jeff Fisher had no clue how to be a head coach in this era of NFL football. You put Sean McVay in there now, a young guy who gets it, who's got an offensive, creative mind, who's getting Jared Goff to play better, who we've now found a revitalized, reinvigorated Todd Gurley. All of a sudden, you're getting some guys stepping up at receiver now for this Rams team. Cooper Kupp, Sammy Watkins, even Robert Woods has played well for this team. There's now suddenly some weapons that are starting to sprout for the Rams offensively. And their defense, I know, was not good against San Francisco, but I still view this as a good defense. That was one of those wild games. Brian Hoyer throws the very early interception on the first play of the game, and from that point on, it was release the hounds. Just turned into one of those wild, crazy, epic kamikaze NFL games, and there was no stopping it. It went back and forth like a pinball machine. I think Wade Phillips gets that defense to play better this week. They tightened it up a little bit. And I know Dak Prescott and that Cowboys offense still very good. Give Prescott credit. Made a couple of awesome plays against Arizona on Monday night.
He's a star player. He's awesome, Dak Prescott. He was the only reason they won that game. Dallas really didn't play all that well. That offensive line for the Cowboys isn't as good as it used to be. It just isn't. You're
right. Dak's plays, the big plays that Dak made rolling out of the pocket because the offensive line was not able to keep that pocket clean for him, and he was able to make plays down the field in the passing game. What concerns me for Dallas laying a touchdown or close to it with them here is their secondary. It's not good. It's not good whatsoever, and they're lucky Arizona's offensive line is a piece of shit right now because Carson Palmer didn't have time to throw the ball.
They did get better. The secondary, they were getting carved over the middle of the field early. I pointed that out right away in the game. I was live on the radio. They did adjust. Yeah. They did a better job. The Cowboys do a good job of getting after the quarterback, but they get gashed. Orlando Scandrick had a tough time. The kid had a tough time. The kids had a tough time with Fitzgerald. One thing as well, you mentioned, the extended – that's the aspect I like about this, the extended rest. And then you got the Cowboys coming off a short week here. It's amazing. The Dallas Cowboys, 0-8 straight up, 1-7 against the spread coming off of Monday nighters. They don't play well. And it's a fact. They've lost 8 straight fucking times after a Monday night football game. So you compound that with the fact you got a team coming off of a rest here on Thursday night football. Donnie Rightside brought it up. Teams with rest are 4-0 against the spread this year in this situation so far. The only thing that's a concern here, Babano, and I see Jazz bringing this up, is everybody likes the Rams. And I like the Rams. You like the Rams. Everybody likes the Rams. The Rams. Everybody likes the Rams. And, on Monday night, immediately after that Cowboy game, it was 8.5 at Bet Online. And it was Bet Online out of line. And someone else had it at 8.5 too. Sitting at fucking 6 now at some spots. We're on the wrong side of the ledger here, man. The Rams, it's getting a little low. I'm almost getting scared off. I can't lie.
No, I mean, it seems to be a very, very popular side. Is it going to be popular, though, amongst the public? Is Joe Public going to be on the Rams, though, in this spot? That's the question. I know in the sharp community, the handicappers, there's a lot of people that like the Rams this week, but is the Joe Public going to be looking to take the Rams come Sunday? That's going to be the question. And I will say this, too, about this particular game, too, for Dallas. I mean, we talk about the secondary struggles, the short week. It adds up for the Rams. Don't forget how good the underdogs were last Sunday in the NFL. Incredible. 7 of 11 underdogs covered. 7 of those 11 underdogs won outright. The Rams, and for you underdog money line bettors, and there's a few of you that I know, underdog money line bettors, Rams money line might be worth putting in your pocket here for this game. Maybe a nice little gift in your account come Sunday. I think they're live to win outright.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you. I wish I was getting a little more in plus 220, though. Like, look, last week, the Bengals were getting 6.5, and it was plus 280. It's fascinating how they set these numbers like that. Yeah, the Rams are a trendy pick this week. They really are. Now, you got Jared Goff going on the road. Now, last week was technically a road game in San Francisco, but, interstate, same state, California game, San Francisco, half-empty stadium. No one was there. This is a different scenario, 100,000 people, whatever the hell it is. But I've said it all week. The Cowboys, it's not an intimidating place to play. It's a big country club stadium. Man, teams get comfortable there. It's so big. It's not that loud. Cowboy fans are kind of soft. Let's just be real. I mean, it's not a hostile environment.
Oh, crowd noise-wise, it's not even close to some of the loudest stadiums in the NFL.
It's not. It's not a hot. Even though
Minnesota, yeah.
It's the biggest stadium in the league, but they're far from the loudest stadium in the league. Yeah, I'm just getting a little worried here. I think Dallas are going to win the game. You know what I'm worried about in this one? That the Rams hang around, and we're sort of we're down by 4, we're there, and then fucking Dak Prescott's just going to fucking run one in for 22 yards or something. And, oh, shit, we lose by 13. You know what I mean? We lose by 10. It's one of those deals. I'm starting to get cold feet. I can't lie about this one.
Well, cold feet because it's a much worse number than it was. I mean, that's an easy thing to understand.
I know, but I blamed you last week when I said, fuck, I hate that when people say that. Oh, I loved it at 6.5, but not at 6, right? When people say that, but there's a big difference between 8.5 and 6. Fuck,
Yeah, I have 8.5. That 8.5's the number I actually bet. Pretty good. Pretty good piece of 8.5 on the Rams. So yeah, that at 6 does bother me, but I still think it's worth a bet. I really do, even at 6 with this particular game. Field goal game here wouldn't shock me in the least. 3 or 4 point game down the stretch would not shock me in the least. I think it's a brutal spot really for the Dallas Cowboys. Then they play Green Bay next week, so that's a big time game that they've got on deck. So how much stock is being put into the LA Rams here in this game when you got Green Bay, a playoff rematch coming up? So very dubious position here for the Cowboys.
I can't argue with that point. My top bet this week, I know people are going to go, oh, don't do it. I've already got people telling me don't do it. The Cincinnati Bengals, one of my best bets of the week this week. Love the Bengals last week, getting the points against Green Bay. Should have won a football game outright, as you stated. Romo pointed it out. Look, we missed a wide open Brandon LaFell. That was the fucking dagger, man. They would have been up by 11. Fuck, man. With like 6 minutes left, he fucking had him, and he fucking missed him, man. Fucking asshole, Dalton. And then the bad luck, too, of that game. It just wasn't meant to be. There's so much bad luck. They got that 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, whatever it was. They got a first down. They're going to win the game. There's 3 minutes left. Fucking Mixon fell in the backfield, Babano. He fell. Wasn't even Dalton's fault. Like, the Bengals, they're just cursed. But I'll tell you what right now. If me and Red Heat and Rage Radio, me and Cam talked about this tonight, and me and Cam in complete agreement about this, is that Marvin Lewis will get fired Monday morning if they don't win this game, Babano. And I know you've criticized Marvin Lewis. This is it. Like, I'm telling you, this is it. If they lose this football game and they're 0-4, Marvin Lewis gets fired, Bill Lazor gets promoted to become the head coach of his football team, and Andy Dalton gets benched for A.J. McCarron. Like, that's my prediction. That's what's going to happen if they lose. And I think that Lewis and Dalton have to be aware of this. Like, Dalton's there, Richie Cunningham, howdy doody. He looks like a nice kid and shit. But, hey, Andy, this isn't going to last forever, bro. You don't stop fucking up. Or, you didn't fuck up last week, but you didn't win. And we're going to give you one last chance type of deal. you know, I would, me personally, I would fire Marvin Lewis if they don't win. And I've defended Lewis. If they don't win this game, Lewis, you're fired. Dalton, you're done. A.J. McCarron's the new quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think it comes to that. The Cleveland Browns are terrible. They're 0-13 in their last fucking 13 division games. Big man brought it up last night. What are they? Fucking 3-34 in their last 37 games or something? I don't get it. You know, the Cleveland Browns get respect from the odds makers. Last week they were road favorites. Now the Bengals are only laying an even 3. The Bengals own these guys. They always fucking beat the Browns. Jobs are on the fucking line. Vontez Perfect is back. They're going to beat up the fucking Cleveland Browns. The Bengals are winning this football game.
Yeah, there's one role I want Cleveland in. It's at home getting way more points than this. That's the role I think Cleveland can cash some tickets in. I mean, until I see proof that they can win a football game, this is just not even close to enough points to endorse the Browns. The Bengals here, obviously they got to have this one. But would it shock you completely if Marvin Lewis is going into next week with his job, even if they do lose this game? Because really, they had a chance to fire him after the one-and-done playoff loss. No
one's getting fired for fucking going to the playoffs every year. This is different. 0-4 is different than being 10-6, Babano, and going to the playoffs. You know, Marvin Lewis has a fucking winning percentage of like 585 or something. It's ultra high. You know, they never really could justifiably fire him before. Now they could. You know, he's 0-4. Now they can.
0-4 and a loss to the Browns, to the Cleveland Browns sidled against you. Yeah, that would be plausible cause, I guess you could say, for finally being fired. I just don't know. I mean, I've talked about how this guy's been a coach here now for 15 years, almost half my life here with the Cincinnati Bengals. It just would be a really stunning day for it to finally happen. But maybe this is the loss that finally puts people over the edge and prompts a change here with the Cincinnati Bengals. I wouldn't talk anyone out of liking Cincy here. I mean, they were close. They played a good game, but they had a couple stub their toe moments late in that game, a game they could have won. When Tony Romo in the booth can see a blitz before Andy Dalton can, that's a problem. That happened more than one occasion. In that game between Cincinnati and Green Bay. I mean, Andy Dalton's just got to be more aware. You know, you're right, calling audibles, knowing what's happening, knowing what coverage the defense is showing you, stuff like that. It's not so much just that he's throwing bad balls or making bad decisions or just turning the ball over. It's about the intellectual side of football where Andy Dalton has failed a little bit. And Tony Romo even pointing that out a couple of times on the broadcast last weekend. So that's where Andy Dalton's got to improve. But I still like the defense. They held Rodgers and Green Bay in check. One thing I do kind of like, though, is the over in this game. It's a low number. 41.5. Bill Lazor picked up the tempo a little bit with this Cincinnati offense. They did snap the ball quicker. It wasn't a blazing fast tempo they were running, but they were snapping the ball a little bit quicker than they have in the past. Just a little small uptick in terms of their tempo and the pace that they've been running on offense. They should be able to move the ball against this bad Cleveland defense. Somehow Jacoby Brissett and the Colts picked them apart last week. That's pretty hard to do. I think Kaiser's not incapable of putting up some points as well at home. He was more comfortable against Pittsburgh. That was his best game of the season, and it came at home. He was able to do some things offensively. So I think at 41.5, Gabe, we got value over the total. I think that's a very low number, and I think Cincinnati now is looking to open it up, take some shots down the field, pick up the pace a little bit, and that gives us value over the total.
I'd be worried about the total here. I like Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's going to win easily, but I think it'll sort of be like a reverse job, like they lost to Baltimore. I don't know if Cleveland's going to score much. You know, I think Cincinnati's defense is going to really clamp them down. Cincinnati, especially with Vontez back, you know, they're going to have a lot of attitude. They'll terrorize fucking Kaiser. Like little bit. It's a low number. I get it. Look, last week I loved the Colts game to go over the number.
Yeah, as did I. Easy one.
But this one I'd be a little bit hesitant to. For me personally, I'm not. You know, you bet. I'd listen to Babano if you guys want. I'm just stating me personally. I have a feeling that the Bengals. I can see the Bengals winning this game. You know. 23-3 type shit. You know, 27-10. I think the Bengals go in there and beat them convincingly. That's the one that really stands out to me. I find it to be kind of a tricky week this week, Babano. A tough game, and I can't believe I'm saying this is a tough game, and I can't believe the fact of the matter is if the Jacksonville Jaguars win, they're going to be 3-1. If the Jets win, they're going to be 2-2, neither of which anybody thought possible before this year started.
Oh, that's true. Nobody thought that at all. I can't take the Jets here. Not after I got to see them win 2 games in a row here, and they
Wouldn't
did it.
you just love to smash Jacksonville if they weren't coming back from London? It's like fuck. They're coming back from London, and it's Blake Bortles on the road. Fuck. But at the same point in time, that Jags defense is going to cause the Jets a lot of problems. I know the Jets won last week, but that was last week. We talk about this all the time. You can't just bet on what happened a week before. You know, I was on the fucking Jets. Love the Jets all week last week. Now I'm abandoning ship. I do like Jacksonville in this game.
I lean Jacksonville. I really lean Jacksonville. I just don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger, and it's because it's Blake Bortles on the road laying a little bit more than a field goal. I don't know if that's the role I'm going to trust him in just yet. We'll see, though. They should be able to beat the Jets. I don't trust the Jets to win 2 in a row. They took advantage of a Miami team that was in a terrible spot. They went out to L.A., spent an extended time in California because of the hurricane, getting ready for that game against the Chargers, and they pulled it out. Give them credit for that. Then they actually had the weird decision to go back to Miami for a few days before actually going to New York for that game. That's a concern, too. The Jets pounced on them early. That looked like a Miami team, much like Oakland. What is up with the Dolphins and the Raiders with the way they both played on Sunday? It's like they didn't even show up to play a football game, either one of those teams. Their heads in the clouds, stupid stuff, turnovers, couldn't move the ball on offense.
That's
Dolphins,
the NFL.
Raiders,
That's the
brutal.
NFL, Babano.
No-show. You get a no-show. Random no-shows. You get them.
Yeah, but every year, but people act surprised about this stuff. You know, teams, that's what they do. Teams go 10-6, right? No one's going 16-0.
Yep.
That's why they made a movie, Any Given Sunday.
Yep, exactly right. You get a random no-show, and boy, Miami and Oakland, they're the 2 teams that stand out in terms of teams that just didn't give a fuck about winning a football game that day. So the Jets took advantage of that. Okay, Josh McCown made some big plays to Robbie Anderson down the field and took advantage of Miami. Cutler was totally inept against that Jets defense, and give him credit for that. I mean, they bottled up the Miami offense, but I've got to see the Jets, a team that was picked by everyone to have troubles winning 1 game this season, let alone 2, 3, or 4 or 5. I got to see that they can win 2 in a row. Jacksonville's defense, by the way, is really good. I know Baltimore's offense is not great, but still, to put the clamps down on Flacco and crew in London is impressive. They can shut down McCown and company, I think, in this game. Definitely lean to the Jags. It's the only way I would bet this one.
Ian Cameron, Babano with us. Another game that I like. A lot of tough games this week, actually, but I'm leaning with the Jags. I don't know if I'll pull a trigger and put them in a super contest. I do love the Bengals. I'm locked in on the Bengals. I know that. I know that much. I'm locked in on the Bengals. I don't like betting against the Buffalo Bills, and I did it last week, and I'm a Bills fan, and I didn't enjoy the game at all. I could barely watch the game because it was just pissing me off watching the Bills succeed, and I couldn't be in on the party. Bills are now 3-0 against the spread, too. Really fucking, thank God I took them against Carolina. At least I enjoyed that game, and I had them against the Jets, too. So I'm 2-1 with the Bills. And here we are right now, taking on the Falcons. Tough game for them.
We got to give the Bills, especially the fans, credit because we see what Buffalo's been able to do at home. I know the Jets win wasn't really impressive, but beating Denver's a good win for that team at home. Let's give the fans credit. Every single week, win or lose, at Orchard Park, at New Era Field, you're going to get the fans just making a ton of noise. It's a loud environment. You know, even though the Bills have not done anything for over a decade plus, that crowd is always there for that team and making noise. And the Bills fed off that against Denver. Bills fans have always come to play. They do.
Loyal fans.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit of controversy this week in Buffalo with the anthem stuff. Basically, all because of Jim Kelly. You know, Jim Kelly should shut the fuck up, in my opinion. And I know
Buffalo plastered on the sideline every game. Every game he's there. Sideline, filling around like an old stooge or something.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like it's like Jim. You don't get to fucking, you want it both ways. Basically, you know what he said? He said he's very disciplined. He lost respect for LaShawn McCoy. You know what? You were standing 10 feet next to LaShawn McCoy when he did that. You were there, locked arms during that anthem shit. And secondly, what the fuck are you even doing on the fucking field? I can't believe here I am saying this because, look, I got about 3 Jim Kelly jerseys in my closet right now. But first off, whatever, dude. You didn't win shit, okay? Maybe if you didn't fucking choke in the Super Bowl 4 times, you'd have a little bit more weight with me. Like I said, you lost respect for LaShawn the way I lost respect for you when you fucking choked every year. Number 2, what the fuck are you doing on the sidelines every week? You don't play for the team anymore, Jim. All right? You got to let it go. Oh, I'm Jim Kelly. I know. I don't see Thurman Thomas. Like, where's Andre Reed? You know, I don't see fucking Cornelius Bennett on the fucking sidelines fucking talking every fucking week. It's not your team anymore. It's not your franchise. You don't play for the Buffalo Bills. You know, and it's shit now about, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. I should have been at the meeting. You're not on a fucking team, Jim. You're fucking 60 years old, fuck. Give it up, bro. You know, sit in the fucking press box up there in your fucking suite. Drink your beers. Stop going on the fucking field. Now you're talking shit about our fucking guys. I'm fucking sick of it. Now, Jerry Hughes even said, you got a problem, Jim. You come up to me. You don't talk shit to the fucking media. You know, we got a good thing going right now. We don't need you fucking it up, Jim. Hey, sorry about that, fuck. Pisses me off.
Well, I think Jim Kelly thinks he's got carte blanche, and I obviously feel for him and his family and this cancer scare he had. I understand that's serious shit, but now we're at the point now where I think
okay, I get it. What's another thing? He had cancer. I know. So what? So he had cancer? Does it give him the fucking right to say whatever he wants?
Yeah. I'm wondering that.
It doesn't. Yeah. No, and the thing is, though, this motherfucker stood next to the fucking players. And then he goes on a fucking talk show the next day and starts ripping the fucking players. They don't go on our fucking field anymore, Jim. You know, and I'll tell you what, the Buffalo Bill players are fucking pissed. They're pissed. They told him, why do you come in our room and talk to us? You got to, and that's it. Jerry Hughes is like, I lost respect for him. And then Hughes even said, he goes, this guy's always on our sideline. And now he's talking shit about us, and he doesn't say shit to us when he sees us to our face. It's fucking bullshit. And I know for a fact, a couple of guys on the Bills even said, what the fuck's he even doing here now anyways? If he thinks we're so bad, what's he doing here? McDermott's trying to put the fire out. You know, because it came up. Somebody asked McDermott at a press conference. They said, is Jim Kelly still welcome on the sideline? And McDermott said, yes. As of this time, yes. We don't need this fucking bullshit. Fuck.
I totally agree. It's not a distraction that Sean McDermott wants or needs. It's not a distraction that the players want or need. This is a program that Sean McDermott's trying to instill, a winning culture in this team. And I think Jim Kelly feels he's got carte blanche to do whatever the fuck he wants at this point and say whatever the fuck he wants at this point. And the fact that he would.
The thing is, what? What did you fucking do for us? You don't know.
He went. I guess he feels he went to three Super Bowls.
He went to fucking Buffalo. He fucking came here fucking dragged and kicking and screaming. He didn't want to fucking be there. I don't want to rip Jim Kelly. He's a good guy. I don't want to rip him. But you know what? You don't play on our fucking team anymore. Like I said, I don't see Shane Conlon walking the sidelines. I don't see Bruce Smith interfering. You know why? Because Bruce Smith went on with his fucking life, and he's not living in the fucking past, lining up on the fucking field like I'm getting ready to play.
Yeah, what's Don Beebe doing?
Dude.
Yeah, what's Don Beebe up to? Why don't we just bring him out there to join along?
You know what Bruce Smith is doing? He's getting drunk. Fuck, that's what he's doing. And they're not on the sidelines.
I have actually, and you know what? It's only until Jim Kelly does something like this, where he's ripping the players, that you notice, like, what is he actually doing out there all the time with the team? And then you see him saying something like that. You're absolutely right about the fact if he has a problem with LaShawn McCoy or whoever on the football team for whatever actions they're doing on or off the field, he's got to say it to them to their face and not voice it on WGR radio or whatever fucking platform he's going to choose to vent his grievances or to vent his rage, so to speak. He's got to be able to say it to the player and say it to the team as a whole and say, guys, you know, I don't like the way you're.
You even notice the same thing, and you're not a Bills fan about it, but you even notice the same thing. Don't you, when you look at Kelly on the sidelines, don't you get the feeling like it's like, dude, what are you doing there type of thing? It's sort of like a guy hanging around at a college campus still.
Because he doesn't have an official position.
I know. It's like, guy, you know, it's like, Jim, I get it. You're part of our family. I know. But you're in the way. You know, I hate to put it this way. You're in the way, dude. You know what I mean? It's 2017. It's not 1990 right now. And you know what happened in 1990? You fucking threw 300 fucking interceptions to get the fucking Washington Redskins. All right?
You know what I'd say to Jim Kelly? You know what I'd say to Jim Kelly?
He's the fucking reason we lost the Super Bowls. No one wants to fucking say it. Oh, it's Scott Norwood. It's not Norwood. It was Jim Kelly's fault. It was
this cake on offense.
I was fucking there. I was there. I don't have to watch an ESPN documentary. I was there. He played like shit in all 4 fucking Super Bowls. He's the fucking reason we lost.
And they had a prolific offense every single one of those years until they got to the Super Bowl, every single one of those years. And we just didn't see that offense perform. That K-gun, wonderful run and shoot, no huddle offense that was just clicking and rolling over teams all season long. And we never ever saw it from them in the Super Bowl. It's almost like Jim Kelly, you know, at the point, I bet you feel like saying this to Jim Kelly right now. You can stick your old memories of going to all these Super Bowls and not winning one of them where the sun don't shine.
No, stop. I don't hate the guy. I'm just, you know, I don't dislike the guy. I'm a Jim Kelly. Come on.
But if you're
real, I'm just speaking real here.
No.
Real emotion, real.
Yeah.
Listen, Thurman Thomas said the same thing. Okay? Listen, in the fucking Super Bowl against the Giants, Scott Norwood was like 19 for 19 from 45 yards in. We all knew anything after 45 is a crapshoot with this guy. 45 in his money. Thurman Thomas told Jim Kelly in a fucking huddle when we were marching down the field against the Giants in the Super Bowl, he told Kelly, we need 5 more. He told him. Kelly ignored him in the huddle. Thurman told him, give me the ball one more time, I'll get out of bounds. Kelly ignored him, fuck, all right? I know this because Thurman Thomas fucking told me this. I know the story. I know the truth. So that was then. What happened against the Redskins, Jim? You threw 4 fucking interceptions. That's what fucking happened. What happened against the fucking Cowboys? I think you set a fucking record. You threw like 5 interceptions in the first half. The guy fucking choked in every fucking Super Bowl. He played okay in that Giant game. He fucking choked in all the big games and whatever. Maybe I'm an asshole. I don't know. I don't fucking forgive him for it, all right? You know, you're the fucking reason we fucking lost. You know, he's also the reason we got there, but whatever, man. Like I said, you know, it's all bad. Fucking, it just pisses me off when I hear this guy talk now. I've had enough of it. Fuck. Just shut up.
I think if you're a Bills fan, you or anyone else, aren't you thinking to yourself, isn't it about time the Buffalo Bills make some new fucking memories? Isn't it about time we do that? And if Jim Kelly is interfering with the team's ability to make positive new memories, good memories for this franchise, then he's got to get the fuck off the sideline.
Yeah.
That's what's got to happen.
Or be part of it.
Yeah.
And you know, and like I said, I don't like ripping on it. It's just I'm getting fired up here. And he tried to walk it back. He was like, the thing is, he came out and he said, I lost respect for LaShawn McCoy as a man. And I was disgusted, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, you could have said something to the fucking team. And then after he's like, well, I wasn't invited to the team meeting. Well, I wonder why you weren't invited to the team meeting, Jim. You're not on the team. What?
I don't get that either.
No, really. Like I might miss it. I wasn't invited to the meeting. If I would have been at the meeting, I would have said this. Yeah, and I guess, you know, if I would have been in the studio with Metallica when they recorded the record, I would have told them not to put the solo over the fucking the third chorus, right? But you know what the little problem with that is? I'm not in Metallica.
No. Why don't we just invite you and I to that team meeting? I mean, come on, we could be there.
All right. We'll move on.
That's all right.
But Buffalo.
All I'm saying is,
the thing is with Jim Kelly too. This isn't new. He's been meddling with our quarterback situation for years. He's always this and that and blah blah. EJ sucks. EJ's great. Play this guy. Draft that guy. It's just enough. And I don't mind if it's in the media. You know what Jim Kelly should do? He should get a fucking talk show on WGR. Get a fucking talk show and say whatever you want. But if you're going to stand on our sidelines, you shut up. You know what I mean? I get it. You're a legend. Tyrod Taylor isn't.
Yeah.
But Tyrod Taylor's the quarterback now. You aren't. That's the way it works. I don't know. Like, anyways, Bills versus Falcons. What do you think?
Well, like I say, I hope for all Bills fans, they start making new memories. It's time to stop saluting the 90s Super Bowl teams all the time. It's time to make new memories, get some good memories going with the Buffalo Bills. And hopefully Sean McDermott, after all these cockamamie coaches they've had, Rex Ryan, Dick Duron, Mike Mularkey, all these stiffs that they've had in the recent years, Sean McDermott's the guy that brings the Bills back to prosperity. They've got a tough chore here, though, coming up on Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons. There's no question about that. Going up against maybe the first real offense they've played this season. I mean, Denver's a pretty decent offense, but now you're going to go to Matt Ryan and his kingdom there in the brand new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. It's going to be a tough ask for this Bills defense. But I'll say this about the Bills defense. They play with fire. They've got some guys in the secondary now that are making plays for this team. You saw it last week.
They're mean-spirited guys.
Yeah.
They got real hard hitters on that Bills team.
Oh, big time.
I'm telling you right now, man, the Bills could lose this game 44-14. Or the Bills are going to lose 28-27, and they're going to scare the shit out of people.
Yep.
You know, the only question is, it's a big dichotomy. It's a lot like the Bears, I see, or it could be a lot of teams in the NFL actually this year, where at home they look good, right? I think the Buffalo Bills at home can beat anybody in the NFL. On the road, I think they could lose to anybody in the NFL. Right? But I guess you can say that about a lot of teams.
You can, but what I like about this secondary is you're right. They hit. They're physical. They fly to the football. And where do you want to have guys that have passion, that have heart, that are willing to make that sacrifice physically? What position on the football field do you want to have that when you're trying to stop an Atlanta Falcons? The secondary, because you know how prolific Matt Ryan in this passing game is. So it's not a complete shock to me if the Buffalo Bills are in this game. Can I trust them with my money to take them plus the points in this spot? I'm probably not going to, but I'm not going to lay it with Atlanta either. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Sean McDermott's defense right now, and the secondary is the key. If they bring that fuck all of you attitude that I've been seeing from them for the last couple of weeks.
Trey White's going to be a star. He's a great player, rookie out of LSU. The problem is it's not Bills' offense. And, they did enough last week against Denver.
Exactly right.
They're at home. We saw what they played against Carolina, and you can't trade touchdowns with the Falcons. My deal is I could see even if the Bills hung around and the Falcons played like shit for the first fucking 20 minutes or whatever of the game, the Falcons could still flick that switch. The only thing is I think this Bills team is special in the sense, I'm not saying special, they're going to the Super Bowl special, but you see it, Babano. They play hard. McDermott is a great coach. He's played the Falcons for years. He's a Carolina guy. He's got a game plan coming in here. He's seen Matt Ryan before. He's not coming in fresh here. To me, it's one of these scary deals where I bet against my Bills last week and I regret it now. And I have a weird feeling. I'm like, man, really wouldn't shock me. Like even Survivor, I don't want to take the Falcons this week, Babano. I'm like, man, the Bills fucking could surprise here, but they're going to lose. The Bills will probably lose, I don't know, 30, let's say. Like, my gut instinct's usually right with this shit. And me and Cameron, too, Drew at the Fantasy Sports Network, he loves the Bills. He's a big Bill fan, season ticket holder. And I said, what do you think? And we both said the same thing. I said, I bet you the Falcons are winning like fucking 30-10. Or like 30, it'll be 34-13 going into the fourth quarter, and Buffalo will score 2 touchdowns late or something and make it look more respectable. But I'm not in a hurry to take the points. I'm just saying, be a little bit careful laying 7.5 here with the Falcons. Falcons got up for that Packer game. They got up for the Lion game, crazy game last week. Could be a little bit of a flat spot for Atlanta here.
Yeah, it very well could be. I'd hang on for dear life at the end to beat the Detroit Lions on that last second call, of course. The throw gets stopped short of the end zone after review. Tough way to lose for the Lions. But I'll tell you what about this Buffalo team. With Sean McDermott, you're finally getting coached during the week. You're finally prepared to play a football game during the week. You weren't any of those things with Rex Ryan, not even maybe. For the last couple of years. That's been one of the bigger differences I've seen. I'm seeing a team that's not shooting themselves in the foot with stupid, dumb, undisciplined penalties with unnecessary roughness and going offside every second play on defense, which was a problem too under Rex Ryan. It was ridiculous. It was a disgrace. You're not seeing that now with Sean McDermott and this Bills team as much this year. I think the Bills' first half is a bet that I actually will pull a trigger on. I think first half, catch Atlanta a little bit dopey early on after these 2 tough games, Green Bay and Detroit back-to-back. I think the Bills can hang in there. Problem is Atlanta is pretty much good. If you go back last year and so far this year, Gabe, at home, Atlanta is good for 30 or more points. If Atlanta gets to 30 points here, it's going to be hard for the Bills to cover for the full game.
All right. What else catches your eye in the NFL, Babano?
All right. Let's take a look here. We've got.
And we'll move on to some college. You know what? I like this game is a tough game, big game, interesting game. Is Tennessee and Houston. I think Houston win. Tennessee shouldn't be road favorites in this spot. People are fascinated with Tennessee. Dodgers are up 6-0 right now. People are fascinated with Tennessee. I'm surprised to see them as 2-point road favorites here. I think it's like a home mulligan after what happened with Houston in their home opener. I think they get back on track here, and Houston's defense clamps down on Tennessee. I think the Texans, it's a massive game because the Texans can't be 1-3 and let the Titans be 3-1. It's a massive game, tough game, but I think Deshaun Watson gets it done.
Yeah, before the season, as I said, I've been a big fan of Tennessee, and I had them last week again. I'm probably not going to go back to that well this week, but I'm not going to take Houston either. I still like this Tennessee team, but it makes sense that there's things to like about Houston. I mean, Deshaun Watson played a really good game. Now, you could say he picked apart a New England defense that's got major, major problems. And speaking of that New England defense, do you realize that in major defensive categories, they're 30th or worse? So that's a big problem area. Now, can Deshaun Watson take that performance and do it again? Was that a bad, struggling New England defense that he took advantage of, or can he do it again now for a second straight week?
Have you seen? You are aware. You've watched him play before, right? It's not like that was his first game of his life last. You are aware.
No, it wasn't.
He did beat Alabama in the national championship, right? He has been lighting it up for the last 3 years.
Oh yeah, of course. But we're talking about NFL. That's a big different kettle of fish right there. You got to be able to prove you can do it in the pros. And I'll tell you what, he struggled against Cincinnati, that very first game, very first start, no question. Other than the big run, it was a tough time getting that offense going. But he seemed more settled, more composed, had a better understanding of how to execute that Texans offense last week on the road against New England. So I saw some big-time steps forward from Watson. Obviously, we know Houston's defense. They've still got to get better. In terms of yards per play that they've allowed, they haven't been exactly at their best either. I mean, Houston's allowing 5.6 yards per play. That's not exactly great by any stretch of the imagination, but you're coming off facing Tom Brady and the Patriots. Pretty tall task in Gillette Stadium. So I'm a big believer in Tennessee. In this kind of price range, I'm not going against them, but I'm not going to bet them either, so I'm staying away. All
right, and final NFL game, we'll move on to some college talk after, is Eagles and Chargers. Eagles and Chargers, interesting. I had Mark Lawrence on today. Mark Lawrence brought up the fact that the Chargers are now 1-11 in their last 12 home games, going back to last year into this year. So it was funny people at this stadium. Yeah, it was the other stadium too. They haven't been a good at home in a while. Yet this is the week. I've been picking on the Chargers this year. I haven't liked them once in any week, but this is the week that I actually do like them. It's, I'm not, is it a super contest pick? No. But fuck, I see the Broncos are up to an even 3 right now. It was 2.5 before. But, the Chargers aren't going 0-16. I think they match up well. They'll be able to throw the ball on Philadelphia. As long as Phillip Rivers is an older Andy Dalton, though, right? And Phillip Rivers is way overrated, fuck. The guy puts up numbers, but he always chokes. He never wins fucking games. But I think they can win this game. It's more of a play against Philadelphia than anything, to be honest.
I can't figure out for the life of me Chargers being favored here. There is no home field advantage. None. Zero. None. Zero. I'll say it twice just to reinforce that point. At the StubHub Center there, it's a basically road team advantage every time. For a Chargers home game there. And I'll tell you what, Phillip Rivers is not playing well. That was supposed to be a spot you could have taken advantage of the Kansas City Chiefs last week. They did not do it. This defense is banged up. They missed Jason Verrett. They could be without Denzel Perryman as well, key linebacker for the Chargers for this game. It's a decimated defense, not a very great defense to begin with. I understand there's questions about the spot here for the Eagles. You're coming off a huge divisional win, last second, 61-yard field goal for Jake Elliott to win that game. Definitely do be a spot. Now you got to go out west, face the LA Chargers, a winless team. Does that stoke the fires of the Philadelphia Eagles for this game? But the Chargers have no home field advantage. They haven't won a game this season. They're 0-7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games, dating back to last season, burning money hand over fist. They don't win close games. Sorry, Gabe. Eagles are past for me.
All right, Bano. So tomorrow night, then college. Actually, it should be college. The Thursday night college board has been pretty crappy so far this year. It's been pretty crap games. I remember the old days. ESPN used to, at least have big ACC games on and stuff. It's been pretty crappy so far this year, but we got a good Big 12 matchup tomorrow with the Texas Longhorns and Iowa State Cyclones. Tom Herman's a big trendy coach amongst gamblers, but he's a great underdog, but he's a motherfucking money burner. as a favorite. He's 0-7. The last 7 times he's been favored in conference play when he's not favored by 29 points or more. So in other words, if he's not playing a cream puff cupcake game and he's favored, he doesn't cover very often. You know, the number is a trendy pick, the Cyclones right now, because, you know, it was higher. It was 6.5. It's down to 5 right now, total 64 in this football game. Iowa State hosted Texas on a Thursday night 2 years ago, if you guys remember. And Texas won 31-30. Close football game. And then if you remember years ago, I think was it Whedon that was playing then in those days? Remember Oklahoma State was ranked 2nd in the country? It was fucking later in the year too, man. They were like 10-0 type shit. And they fucking lost Iowa State on a Thursday night in Ames. So Iowa State does have a history of these Thursday night. It's a tough place to play. Sort of like we talk about it with the Buffalo Bills in the NFL. I tweeted about that with Denver. You know, you're in a big city. It's kind of a weird place to go to Buffalo. The stadium's in the middle of nowhere. You got a bunch of fucking wasted fans in a parking lot wrestling and doing coke and fucking each other. And it's dreary in the air. It's just one of those weird spots. And same shit with fucking Ames, Iowa, man. It's just you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. Fuck. It's disorientating for some teams when they're up there. You know these kids are already getting wasted, Babano. The only thing is it's down to 5 right now. Is it getting too low? That's the question.
Yeah, Tom Herman off a bye is very good. I understand that, and it's a very reluctant spot for me to ever go against teams that he coaches in this situation with extra time to prepare. He's as good as it gets. He was great in that role in Houston, but I don't like laying points with Tom Herman teams either, especially significant points. So it's tough from a side perspective. I still think Texas is better than Iowa State, but I'm not going to be looking to lay points with them here, especially when you start looking at their offensive line issues. They're all they're all Big 12 tackle, left tackle Connor Williams, not going to play for this game. And that's obviously a key positional on the offensive line. And Tom Herman's coming out this week and saying basically we don't have another Connor Williams behind him to put in there as a backup left tackle. So this is a legitimate concern that he has voiced in preparation for this game this week. They're going to have Shane Buechele back at quarterback instead of Ellinger. Obviously, that's going to make them probably a little bit of a better passing attack for this game. But let's not sell Iowa State's offense short. I mean, Jacob Park, 14th in the country in passing yards so far this season. And Alan Lazard's a tremendous receiver here for this Iowa State Cyclones team. Defensively, you just worry a little bit with their D-line, whether they're going to be able to hold up. But this is not a spot that I want to back Texas in, especially with those offensive line concerns that clearly the coach is concerned about too, based on the quotes that I've read from him this week. So I was leaning Texas early in the week, not going to bet it now on the side. But if you take a stab with Iowa State, that's not the worst bet in the world. It concerns me that Iowa, Gabe, hung 44 points on that Iowa State defense. Iowa's a very pedestrian, plodding offense that couldn't move the ball against Penn State last week. They hung over 40 against Iowa State. I'd lean Cyclones, but just a lead.
I think the Cyclones could win this game outright. Plus 185 on the money line. Totals 64. Texas are overrated. They're overvalued. They have athletes, but they're stupid. All their quarterbacks are stupid. They all make fucking mistakes. They all will do something fucking dumb. They really are like the Cincinnati Bengals of college football. Look at that game against USC. They should have won that game. They couldn't get out of their own fucking way. They'll fumble a snap. They'll fucking do something stupid. I don't trust these kids under pressure. That's the thing with Texas. You got a bunch of blue chip athletes, but they're fucking soft mentally. Iowa State aren't great. Hard not to make an argument for the over, but man, like you said, if the Iowa Hawkeyes hang 44 on you, that's pretty telling right there. 64 is a lot of fucking points, but I think the game goes over.
That's the thing. I don't trust Iowa State's defense, but I'm not sure I trust a very injury-riddled, banged-up, young Texas offensive line either. And that's they have cluster injuries, not just one guy. There's a couple guys banged up on that Texas offensive line. So we'll see if maybe Iowa State's defense can take advantage of that. I'm not going to play the total. I was actually looking at over early in the week, but I've seen enough bad vibes around this Texas O-line situation that I'm not even going to bet the total now either.
I'm going to swing for the fences with Iowa State money line. For the record, Matt Campbell, head coach, he's 6-2 as a home underdog since he got there to Ames from Toledo, 6-2. Friday night, I'm going to swing for the fences. I'm going to take Duke on the money line. I'm going to keep taking these fucking money lines till I hit these motherfuckers. Iowa State plus 185 on the money line. I get the Duke Blue Devils plus 210 on the money line. I'll take the 6.5 with the Duke Blue Devils as well. We got a really busy Friday night, actually, man. We've got what, Miami and Duke, BYU, Utah State, Nebraska and Illinois. That's a strange matchup right there for a Friday night matchup. And USC, Washington State, the big game on Friday night from Pullman. What's your take on the Friday night card?
It's a great card. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing this. My strongest opinion of all the games is right with you on Duke, plus the points. I trust David Cutcliffe in an underdog role. He has been magnificent and marvelous in this role, spectacular even. As an underdog with the Duke Blue Devils, they've got a quarterback now in Daniel Jones, who I've been very impressed with, has gotten better. And nobody's talking about Duke as any sort of good football team. But even though they're very young and they have a lot of new players, I mean, the quarterback's returning, Jones, but they're still a very young team. To see what they've been able to do so far, pretty impressive in their 4-0 straight up, 4-0 against the spread start, beat Northwestern at home, pummeled Baylor at home, nice road win at North Carolina last week, 27-17, and they shut down North Carolina in the fourth quarter. When that game was on the line, it was Duke making all the big plays, not North Carolina. What's Miami? I know Miami's a great team, hype team, Mark Richt, Rozier, the quarterback, very heavily hyped. 4-0 start. Everyone expects them to be a force in the ACC. I understand that. But look at the schedule so far. Bethune-Cookman, 41-13. Toledo last week after the 2 weeks off due to the hurricane and all the postponements, and they beat Toledo 52-30. But their defense gave up yards against Logan Woodside and that Toledo offense. I think Duke's going to be able to move the ball because Cutcliffe puts that off.
Look, Babano. Look who they played too. Look, they beat the Tar Heels. Okay, the Tar Heels aren't great, but nevertheless, they've got athletes. Yeah. You played Baylor. Same thing. Yeah, Baylor are down. Baylor still have fucking blue chip recruits that are stuck on the field here with these guys. They just don't know how to win anymore suddenly. They kicked the shit out of Northwestern. Like, you go down the list, like, it's not like Miami are head and shoulders above UNC, Baylor, or Northwestern from a talent perspective.
And they've had downtime. They've had a huge 2-week layoff in between two pretty much cupcake home games. Toledo's a good team, but still, it's the team Miami Hurricanes should beat every single time. Yeah, the 2-week
Toledo were hanging at I think Toledo were winning at the half of that game.
Oh, they were. That was a tight game at halftime, and then Miami finally pulled away and blew them out in the second half. You're exactly right about that. So they had the 2-week layoff in between a walkover against Bethune-Cookman, Toledo at home. Now you're going on the road for the first time. National TV game. Duke's fired up. They're at home. They're ready for this game. Cutcliffe's been awesome as a dog. This is a better team. The betting markets have gotten Duke wrong from the very beginning this season. This is a better team than they've given Duke credit for. They are live. I think they can win this game, plus the points and money line. I'll be on both.
And the tweets are starting to pour in right now. Hugh Hefner passes away. Mike Cardano. Hugh Hefner cashes chips in today at 91 years old. Hell of a run.
What a run. Trailblazer.
Wow.
Playboy magazine. What can you say about what he did with that?
What a life, right? A Playboy mansion.
Yeah. The life we could all dream of.
I lived in LA. I never made it to the mansion, Babano. I don't even know where the mansion is. I never saw the mansion. I don't even never saw the mansion.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air cast got to see the mansion because they filmed one of those episodes there. Will Smith and company. I remember it. They were did an episode there in it.
One thing I will tell you about that mansion, though, it was a dump at the end. It was like disease infested. They had a party and a bunch of people got like diseases and shit from going in the pool.
Sure.
Yeah, it was beaten down. Like it was, it's funny. All those places too. I saw a tour of it. I think some guy bought it and he lets Hugh Hefner live there. So he did let Hugh live there. But rest in peace, an American icon, man. Like really, it doesn't get much more iconic than Hugh fucking Hefner.
Yeah,
rest in peace, Hugh.
Rest in peace, Hugh, for sure. I mean, what a franchise he built, really, with Playboy magazine. But unfortunately,
Will Chamberlain said he slept with over 2,000 women. I'm assuming that fucking Hugh Hefner probably banged like 200,000.
The Playboy Mansion's the one swimming pool in the world where you got to get tested for an STD right after it. Yeah.
Yeah, you get VGS.
Yeah.
I don't know how many women. I'm going to punch this in. How many? Yeah, that was the deal. Yeah, exactly, Jed. That was the deal when the guy bought they bought the Playboy Mansion, but they said, yeah, Hugh stays till he dies, though. You can't. Let's see, how many women did Hugh Hefner sleep with?
Oh man,
I'm going to guess.
Over
Honestly, I'll say 10,000.
I was going to go 7,000, 5,000, but wow.
I was going to say 10. I'm amazed, actually. So this article is 2013, what pops up.
You're talking about a shitload of a life that this guy led. 90 plus years.
Esquire
chances to fuck.
Esquire asked him in 2013, how many women does he know? Does he think he slept with? He said, well, I've always been faithful when I was married, but I made up for it when I was single. They said, do you have a guesstimation? He said, I don't know, probably about 1,000 or over 1,000 or so.
Wow.
And then he goes, there were chunks of my life when I was married, and when I was married, I never ever cheated on any of my wives. But when I wasn't married, I'll tell you, I made up for it. So
I'm sure he did.
yeah, so he says over 1,000. I got to believe it's more. But
I was going to
he was married,
Yeah, no, that's good.
I'm surprised. I guess,
I am, yeah.
Not a pure pig, I guess, right? Just because he owns Playboy doesn't mean he was fucking every one of the playmates.
Yeah. So he didn't have his cock sticking out 24 hours a day. Good for him.
Yeah, like Jazz is saying, it's true. He slept with 1,000 Playboy playmates, though, right? Like, yeah, I wonder if Hugh Hefner, though, used to want uglier chicks. I don't want this Playboy chick. I swear I knew a baseball player like that. It was crazy. He used to pick out real weird chicks from the stands, man. I even asked him, I said, what's your deal? He goes, I don't know. He goes, I don't like all those fake groupies. I like the real girls in the stands. It's true. I won't say who the player was. He was married. It's all right, Babano. So what do you got for us in college before I let you go? I could talk all night, but I got to go to the bathroom soon. So, yeah, we're going Friday nights. And not to be give you too much information, but I don't know, man. My bathroom patterns have been weird, man. I can't go. I'm supposed to go, and I can't go. I'm like Kramer. I think I waited too long, Babano. The radio. I do a radio show every night at 8 o'clock, and in the studio, I don't know. Somebody painted like a piece. Somebody fucking put a peace sign or something in the bathroom, in a private bathroom where I work. The boss fucking freaked out and locked the door. Fuck. So now to use the bathroom, we got to use the general bathroom in this fucking like office loft space. Except there's fucking far, Babano, from the radio booth from where me and Cam sit. Like, I'm not joking. Like, literally, it takes like 3-4 minutes to go back and forth. And then you got to hope when you go to the bathroom that you do your business fucking real quick. So if, like, there's any little delay, I'm not going to get back in between commercial breaks. It's fucking annoying. I swear to God, I'm going to fucking piss in a fucking garbage fucking bin in that room soon. Like, I can't piss. So I go in there. I got to go to the bathroom, and I can't go because I don't have fucking time. And then my fucking stomach gets all fucked up, and I forgot about it, and it's starting to kick in right now. I said I feel like Kramer. Hey, where's the bathroom at? Fuck, I gotta go now. But I'm all good. So Friday night, Babano, we both like Duke. You got BYU and Utah State. I'm not in a hurry to bet this game, but Utah State do suck pretty hard. They
do. BYU, Utah State. Utah State absolutely dismantled pathetic San Jose State last week. We'll see if they can do it again this week. But BYU's offense has been brutal so far this season, so maybe the under's worth a look there. We got to talk USC, Washington State. Obviously, it's a huge game in the Pac-12. I'll tell you what. I've made a lot of money the last couple of years with Washington State and Mike Leach as a home underdog, but there's a value issue that I've got with Washington State in this game. The Golden Nugget college football game of the year line prior to the season back in June had USC -10 in this game at Washington State. Now all of a sudden they're -3.5, and nobody's had more fun betting against USC the last few weeks than I have. I had Texas against them. I had California against them last week. I don't think this is the week I want to go against USC one more time, though. This is a massive difference in the line based on their point spread struggles here over the first 4 weeks. They've only covered one number, and that was against Stanford. My issue with Washington State, even though I've liked this team in the underdog role, they haven't been battle-tested. Boise State was sort of a snowball effect. They were getting drilled in that game, but Rippon gets hurt. Montel Cozart comes in, just a whole brigade of events happen, and Washington State's able to come back, win in overtime. My concern with Washington State is when the bright lights in the big spot have arrived for this team the last couple of times, they've absolutely shit the bed. Look at the Apple Cup last year. All you need to do, beat Washington at home. You're in the Pac-12 championship game. They played awful. They played horrendous in that football game, Washington State, against Minnesota in their bowl game. Suspended Minnesota players left and right. They didn't play well at all. I have to see Washington State play well in a big game, in a big spot, to trust them. That's all there is to it. And USC now has been devalued, considering they were -10 in this game, in the game of the year line. They're just -3.5 now. So I was initially looking to Wazoo, but I want no part of them now. It's a game I'm going to stick away from, but a great game to watch.
It's amazing the success that Mike Leach has had in these spots. 15-5 in his career, Babano. 15-5 in his career against undefeated teams. 15-5 against the spread, that is. ATS, including a 9-1 with Washington State. There's a million trends that are in Wazoo's column here. USC 7-26 is a road favorite following a win against a 500 team, including 0-9 against the spread the last 9. And, you know, I'm with you. And I see we got our main man, Big Man on campus in the chat here. What up, Big Man? But I know Big Man, I joke with him that he's, Wazoo's his favorite team here. That's the thing. I think Wazoo are overrated. I don't think they're elite. So I think, there's sort of these teams that sort of get there, and then an elite team will show them that, you're not on our level. But the thing is, I don't trust Clay Helton. And USC are kind of flaky. They just are. USC seem like they're having a hard time dealing with the pressure. That's why they're 1-3 against the spread right now. And you look at Sam Darnold, 7 interceptions already. I think he only threw 9 all last year. So he's already has 7 right now. I think he's trying to do a little bit too much. Last year, I think the kid was just playing. He was having fun. He didn't even win the starting job. Max Brown did. I think he was just having fun last year, Darnold. Now, he fucking knows every little fucking thing he does. He must be thinking in his head, oh, shit. As I'm dropping back, oh, man, the Jets are going to be looking at my footwork on this. And I think he's overthinking things in his head because he knows he's the #1 pick, and it's starting to get to him a bit, the pressure. USC have a target on their back as a whole. I think I think the kids from California are a little flaky to begin with. Not flaky, but, they're not from Alabama where they're just going to be, fucking like a tank every week. There's going to be these little emotional ups and downs with these kids from California. And I think they're dealing with this on a weekly basis, where, as you see, they're dodging bullets, Babano. They're fucking lucky Texas fucked up. Texas could have beaten them outright. Western Michigan could have beaten them outright. It's a lot of pressure on him. And I noticed Darnold, he's pushing the ball. Like a pitcher when they say, he's aiming it instead of just throwing it. It's like Darnold's aiming shit. And, he gets these rhythms where he gets hot, but he's also aiming stuff. There's all that being stated. And then on top of that, I don't think Clay Helton's a great coach. So you got Clay Helton operating a Lamborghini here. They're coming close to crashing. They're like a NASCAR. They're keeping it on the track so far, but you get the feeling that a crash is around the corner with USC all the time. It's a real interesting matchup, man. But push comes to shove, I think the Trojans get it done.
The big concern
I can't wait to watch the game, Babano. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
It is. It's a big game. It's a fun game.
And I want to bring up, actually, we got to get, you're always with the injuries, and I think you overdo it sometimes because there's teams and guys that are injured every fucking week, Babano. And a lot of these kids, it's just next man up anyways. If the center's injured or maybe, the guy that's protecting the blind side, etc. But the fact of the matter is with USC, Ronald Jones is star running back. And without him, they've lost the game already. He's going to play. I don't know how well he's going to play. And I don't know if he's going to be able to stay in the game. I think this kid's pretty hurt right now, and he's just trying to suck it up. And basically he said, I'm going to play. I'm going to give it my best. I'm going to try. And now we're finding out that, what's the kid's name? Fucking Deontay Burnett.
Deontay Burnett. I'll tell you right now, Deontay Burnett is banged up.
33 catches on the season. He's probably not going to play. Ronald Jones is closer to playing. Jones is like, I think I can play. Burnett, they're not letting him doing interviews. He's not talking and shit, which leads me to believe that he's not going to play Burnett. Next man up, USC, yes. But at the same point in time, this is a guy that Sam Darnold's thrown a football to 33 times through the 4 games. So it's something to keep our eye on there.
Yeah, my thinking with injuries, and you're right, certain injuries are overrated and overvalued.
Because every team's got big injuries in college every week, Babano.
What it is if it's one person injured in a group, like a wide receiving group, an offensive line, a defensive line, if there's one guy injured, it's no big deal. It's when you have the cluster injury situations on the offensive line or on the defensive line or in a wide receiving core. And for wide receiver specifically here with USC, there could be some cluster injuries. Burnett may not play. Stephen Mitchell, who I think has been the next top target for Sam Darnold in that USC passing game, has, I think, already been downgraded to doubtful now for this game. Stephen Mitchell for USC at wide receiver. Of course, Ronald Jones banged up. However, even if Ronald Jones doesn't play, Stephen Carr is pretty damn good. I know he's only a freshman running back, but boy, he has looked explosive, fast, lightning speed. I don't think they're completely crushed with Jones out. It would be a big blow, massive blow, but Stephen Carr is pretty damn good, and I've seen a lot to like from him. But it's the wide receiving injuries that are really the biggest concern for me with USC coming into this game, and it's what's keeping me off USC in this game because I think this has been a devalued line. But they've got a lot of injuries in a tough environment on national TV on Friday night, and it's a fascinating game. I'm not going to have a huge betting opinion on, as you can tell, but it's going to be a great game to watch. Totally agree. I can't wait.
I see people in the chat talking about Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd's the biggest fuckhead in the media, and that's saying something because there's a lot of fucking weasels in the media, but Cowherd might be the biggest douchebag of them all. All right, so before we get you out of here, the other big game on the weekend is Clemson Saturday night. Saturday night going up there to Va Tech. That's going to be an interesting football game. Clemson are 7-point, now up to 7.5 in this game. And what was the other one? There was one other interesting college game I wanted to bring up. I guess that's it, actually. We got Alabama's laying 28 to Ole Miss. But yeah, Clemson, Virginia, I swear there was one other fucking one. Where the fuck was it?
Memphis UCF?
No, that's it. No, I was thinking about Miami and Notre Dame, but I talked about this with Mark Lawrence today. Georgia, Tennessee is an interesting game. I think Florida State are going to beat up on Wake. No, that was it. It was Vanderbilt, Florida. Those were the two games. So last two games, Babano, Vanderbilt, Florida, and then Clemson, Virginia Tech. Vanderbilt, Florida. I like Vandy here.
I totally agree. People are going to overreact, go crazy about, oh, look at Vanderbilt. Same old Vanderbilt now. After that undefeated start, they get piss pumped in a big way by the Alabama Crimson Tide at home last week. Now throw them in the trash can. They're no good all of a sudden again. That's going to be an overreaction. That's going to be the narrative coming out of that loss. I don't trust Florida laying this many points, not with their offense. I know Jim McElwain's announced the decision to go with Luke Del Rio at quarterback for this game instead of Felipe Franks. We have a quarterback change for the Florida Gators, but Del Rio to me was not great.
Franks is better than Del Rio.
Yeah, I don't think it's a massive upgrade if there is any upgrade whatsoever. And the Vanderbilt team, yeah, I didn't see enough from Del Rio, and obviously McElwain didn't see enough from Del Rio last year, Luke Del Rio, to keep him the starting quarterback. That's why he brought Malik Zaire in and Felipe Franks to compete with him throughout spring and fall camp for that starting.
And Zaire's no good either. Zaire's way overrated too. Listen, I don't know. Franks provided a spark for them, gives them a shot to win. He was the best one against Michigan. He hit the Hail Mary against Tennessee. Yeah, whatever, man. McElwain, I'll tell you what. I talked about this with Rich Seminello today. McElwain's fucking lucky that Rick Pitino got fired today. And that yesterday, Adidas and all that college basketball stuff went down because that was a bigger surprise than players getting suspended. But, you got 9 kids on your team up to credit card fraud, McElwain. That doesn't look good on you. And I said this before. I think the honeymoon's over with McElwain in Gainesville right now, even though we went to 2 straight SEC championship games. It was almost by default in that bad East division. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Dan Mullen at Mississippi State, he's turned down a lot of opportunities at other schools. I think he's waiting it out, man. Dan, you got to remember, Dan Mullen won a national championship with the Florida Gators. He was Urban Meyer's offensive coordinator in those days with Tim Tebow and stuff. I think that's the job. I think that if McElwain finally gets booted and Florida offered Mullen the job, Dan Mullen would leave Mississippi State for the Florida Gators. But how the fuck are you going to trust the Gators offense to lay 10 here against Vanderbilt? And we talk about this all the time, Urbano. It's the short attention span. People remember what they saw last. They're going to go, oh, I saw Vanderbilt lose 59-0 to Alabama last week. They suck. Whatever, man. Fucking Alabama, the way they played last Saturday, they would have beaten the Dallas Cowboys. Fuck. You know, it was one of those deals. It was a statement game for Bama. Bama had been mailing it in the last couple of weeks. It was a statement game for Bama. Vanderbilt are still a very good defensive team. I think they hang. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a fucking 14-13 game and it came down to a missed field goal for one or two teams. I think Vandy can win this game outright. But I'm not gonna say take them outright, but I'm taking the 10 points.
And the key is going to be, can the Vanderbilt offense move against the Florida defense? Florida does have a very good defense, but, you know, are they Alabama's defense? I don't think so. I think Kyle Shermer's got it in him to bounce back. Ralph Webb at running back to be able to get this offense going, at least to some extent, keep them in it. And I think the Vanderbilt defense taking a huge step down in class, obviously. When you look at that Vanderbilt offense last week against Bama, Gabe, all you saw on their drive charts was interception, fumble, or punt. One of the three. That's what was happening to Vanderbilt's offense time and time again. They will show up. I think they're going to be embarrassed from that game, even though it was in Alabama. I don't think they're all of a sudden going to be downtrodden mentally that, oh, we're a bad team now all of a sudden. No, Alabama is what they are. It was a statement game for them. And Gabe, last 2 years, since 2015, between Vanderbilt and Florida, in 2015, 9-7 Florida. Vanderbilt covers as a 3-touchdown dog. Last year, Florida wins 13-6. Vanderbilt covers as a 12-point underdog. 2-0 ATS, Vandy. Last two meetings against Florida. I say they make it 3-0. I think we've got a single-digit game here at the very worst.
All right. Georgia-Tennessee is an interesting game. I don't know if I want to lay 7.5 on the road with Georgia. Penn State's laying 18 to Indiana. But like I said, we can't hit every game. We can't keep Babano all night. I think you got some sports memo hit tomorrow, too. You got to rest your voice a little bit, Babano. Mississippi State +9.
No, don't worry about it. I'm having fun. Ooh. No problem.
Ooh, Mississippi State live dog, I think, getting 9 actually at Auburn. You know, because Mississippi State lost to Georgia, so they must be terrible. That's the way this shit works. It's funny. But this Clemson-Virginia Tech game, you know, it's funny. I was on Clemson against Louisville, and I told people the number was too low. Now it seems like everyone's like, oh, well, you know, our Virginia Tech better than Louisville. Look what Clemson did to them. Dabo Swinney's a great coach, but the one spot he's not great is laying points on the road in ACC play. Yeah, they beat Louisville. They don't like Louisville. That's, you know, it's a big rivalry game for them. The number was a little short. Plus, Louisville are so fucking overrated. They're a one-man fucking team. You know, Virginia Tech, Saturday night coming in here. Fuente is one of the best coaches, ATM coaches in the league in college football. The guy's just a moneymaker. To me, I think we got another live home dog here, man. I think Clemson are going to get all they can handle here. The only thing is, can Virginia Tech handle the moment? You know, they haven't played a very tough schedule so far. That Georgia Tech game was, you know, the opener. Can they handle the moment? Will they be able to move the ball on Clemson's D? But I think Clemson's offense will struggle a little bit here. I can see Kelly Bryant having a little bit of a bad time in this game.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Louisville this year. So everyone can talk about Clemson winning that game 47-21, but I don't think Louisville is very good at they're an okay team, but they're not great by any stretch. I don't like their defense. I don't like their offensive line. I don't think they've got great skill position talent. It's Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson only for that team as far as I'm concerned. So good win for Clemson on the road, but this to me could arguably, I think it is actually, a tougher opponent. For Clemson facing Virginia Tech here. Josh Jackson has shown capability on offense running this team at quarterback. They've put up points in each of their first few games. The one concern I'd have, Gabe, is their one signature win this year was against West Virginia, that Sunday night game, opening week of the season, 31-24. They got outgained by 123 yards. And if you've seen West Virginia's defense since then, they're awful in terms of stopping the run, and they're very soft. I mean, Kansas ran the football, believe it or not, down West Virginia's throat last week. Very, very concerning that now all of a sudden that is the signature win that we've got Virginia Tech based off of coming into this game. A very soft West Virginia defense. So this is going to be a massive challenge for Virginia Tech. Yeah, you feasted on West Virginia that first week. That's your one win that was of quality. Can you do it now against this Clemson defense, which to me is for real? Question is, can Kelly Bryant do it again on the road? Not going to be involved, but there is value to the Tech side. I wouldn't argue with that necessarily.
I think there'll be points in this game, actually. I think things will open up a little bit. Like you said, Virginia Tech don't have a great defense. I think that both teams will get into the 20s. Maybe Clemson will get into the low 30s here. 7.5 is too much to lay here. Fuente is going to have these guys ready to play. Total is 51.5. All right, Babano, great stuff. So no karaoke for us tonight? No serenading at all?
No karaoke. But speaking of karaoke, Gabe, I don't know if you can make this work, if you could talk to Zach or anyone at SBR, but we got to do our best. And I know everyone that's been with you for a long time will agree with me. We got to do our best to get the Raging Redhead Cam Stewart in on the SBR platform at some point for one of these late night shows. He doesn't have to come on all the time, but once in a while, pop in, say hi, and add to the fun, because Cam Stewart's a hell of a guy. We've known him forever. He's hilarious. He's got a ball of energy. He sings karaoke too, much like me. Man, it would be a blast. Cam Stewart, a good guy. Maybe we'll see him on SBR at some point.
Yeah, Cam doesn't work for free, Babano, so you want to give him $50, he'll probably come on.
That's true. Yeah. Knowing Cam, yes, you're right. You're going to have to pay a premium for his services these days. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had, I got guys all the time. I got a guy on radio the other day asked me, can I get your buddy Cam's number? We'd love to get him to come on and talk about a golf issue. And I said, I don't think whatever. I told Cam's like, no. So now I just tell people, no, he doesn't want to do it. But yeah, I'm just kidding. I can get Cam. Well, we'll see if we get Cam. Thing with Cam is, I don't know if you can figure out the Google Hangout. So
yeah, that's the concern. Exactly. It's like Mick Aussie. He's going to have just get all pissed off, not getting the damn thing to work.
Cam is that hardcore. He wouldn't go on a Montreal radio station, TSN. He told me, I don't like TSN. I'm not going to do the radio for free. Yeah. Made a good point, actually.
Yeah, he's looking after his financial well-being. Aren't we all?
I would really rip TSN, actually. The only reason I don't is because of my boy Hustler. Only because my boy Hustler in Winnipeg. And I guess Orville, too. I don't want to get these guys in trouble and shit. They'll have to unfollow me and stuff. But TSN's a joke. They can go fuck themselves. Fuck TSN. Fuck the T, fuck the ES, fuck the N.
Yeah, they don't know fun. Yeah, they don't know fun whatsoever. And I'll tell you what, these Wednesday night chat sessions with you on the late night anger management class here on SBR, Gabe, they're going to get even more fun, more entertaining, and we add another sport to the mix next week. We're dropping the puck, NHL hockey. And what's great, Gabe, is that Wednesday nights when I come on with you during hockey season, we're going to have overnight lines for the Thursday NHL slate. And if anyone knows hockey, those Thursday NHL slates, they're huge. They're loaded, 8 to 12 games usually on a Thursday night in the NHL. We'll be able to break those down in the weeks to come. So we're adding hockey to the mix next week. Can't wait for the puck to drop.
And how the hell did I not bring up the CFL? So let's blast through the CFL. Saskatchewan Roughriders, Ottawa Red Blacks. Roughriders laying 3 on the road. They signed Trent Richardson, speaking of Alabama. Trent Richardson signed with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Montreal Alouettes getting 17 points. Wow. Getting 17 points at Calgary. Toronto Argonauts and your Hamilton Tiger Cats. Great win for the Ticats coming back last week against BC. It looks like Hamilton's Hamilton's got a little bit of momentum going right now as a home dog. And we got Winnipeg and Edmonton on the board. Should be a good football game.
What a nice win for my Ticats. I know I've ripped them to shreds this week. The Art Briles debacle was awful, but look what they're doing now. They're playing good, better football. They've won now all of a sudden 3 of their last 4 games. They've all of a sudden got a chance now in this convoluted, terrible East Division to make the playoffs, and they're a home underdog here against a Toronto team that they already beat to get their first win of the season at home on Labor Day. So I definitely lean Ticats. I think that game goes over the total too, because actually Toronto, I actually like over more than I like Hamilton in that game. Ricky Ray and the Argos offense has clicked out of their bye week. They hung 34 points on Edmonton. They crushed Montreal, sad sack Alouettes last week. They're going to be able to score points. I think their offense is clicking. Hamilton's offense with Masoli under June Jones has been better. I think we get points. It's going to be sunny. Nice and comfortable conditions in Hamilton Saturday, no wind. So we get points, and I'd also lean to Hamilton there. No line on Saskatchewan, Ottawa. Actually, we do now. Saskatchewan -3. I'd lean Saskatchewan. I don't trust the Ottawa quarterback situation there. And I think Edmonton's in a great spot, Gabe. They have lost 5 straight. I understand that. 7-0 to 7-5, but they're off a bye, back home, facing this Winnipeg team. It's right the ship. I'm hearing it from Jason Moss. I'm hearing it from Mike Riley, from everyone on this Edmonton team in quotes that this bye week has been a good thing for Edmonton off the 5 losses in a row. Recharge the batteries, get some injured guys back. I think you see Edmonton's A game. They took Calgary down to the wire in the game before their bye week. I think they build on that. They get healthier, and they beat Winnipeg at home on Saturday.
All right, Babano. So I'm looking at the CFL standings right now. We have the crossover. So Hamilton Hamilton would need to catch Ottawa to make the playoffs, right? Like they're not. It's not like, oh, you come in third in the East. Maybe if your record was okay, but not. So basically, basically they need to catch Ottawa or be better than the BC or Saskatchewans of the world. So yeah, Hamilton are in a tough spot to make the playoffs still, aren't they?
They are. And Ottawa, Toronto in the East are the two teams they got to catch. The top two teams, Ottawa, Toronto in the East. This is a huge game coming up with the Argos. Nobody blows like the Argos. Hopefully they blow on Saturday. That would be fantastic.
Is that the saying with you guys down there in the Hammer? I like that. You did say this. So nobody blows like the Argos. Is that what you guys chant?
Yeah, because they always go Argos, and then the Ticat fans, when we go to Toronto, and I've been there in Toronto for Argo Ticat games, we come back with nobody blows like the Argos, and we go, and when they go Argos, we say suck. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, very lot of creative stuff. But what's the Ticats? Oski wee wee, Oski wee wee.
Oski wee wee, Oski wawa, holy Mackinac, Tigers eat 'em raw. Legendary chant, legendary. Pigskin Pete. Long live Pigskin Pete.
Oski wee wee, Oski wah.
Oski wee wee, Oski wawa, holy Mackinac, Tigers eat 'em raw. There you go. I even did the little hand gestures too. Yeah.
Great stuff, Babano. Get some rest. Thanks for the time, buddy.
All right, my voice is killing me, but I do it in a heartbeat on these Wednesday nights. So
good. I was going to ask you. So, what's the Holy Mackinac? So, what was that? Was the announcer come up with that? Like, where's? I always wondered about that. I always thought it was like just the box J boys. So, Oski wee wee, Oski wawa, Holy Mackinac. How come the Holy Mackinac's in there? I never really realized. What's the Holy Mackinac in there for?
There is a lot. I've heard 6 or 7 different stories and reasons of how they came up with that. I don't think there really is a truthful story to explain that. I think it was just placed there a long, long time. That chant's been going at Ticat games for decades. So it dates back like 30 or 40 years. So where it came from, I actually honestly don't know. But it's been the Oski Wee Wee chant for as long as I've known. And it's been a staple of Ticat home games. And it's great. Great atmosphere in Hamilton. Win or lose, they're very supportive of that team. They love their cats.
Yeah, I'm going to play it for people. Let's hear it. Here we go.
There we go.
3, 2, 1.
It really is the strangest fucking chat. Like I'm seeing Drew. Drew's a CFL hater, so I won't take it as stop. But Drew kind of has a point. He's like, I don't even know what that means. Like, what does it mean?
I know. Drew's probably saying, what the fuck was that shit? Yeah, Drew and his CFL haterade. What the fuck is that shit?
So in other words, yeah, the Ticats basically fans just came up with a bunch of shit that rhymes. Oski wee wee, Oski wawa, holy Mackinac, eat Tigers, eat 'em raw.
You're right.
It's
wah
the
wah.
most fucked up team chanting,
wah,
man.
Nah rah. Wah nah rah. There's your
Oski
3 rhymes.
wee wee, Oski wawa. I don't know. I gotta assume it's like some native shit or something.
Yeah.
Holy Mackinac is the fucking.
Joe Bowen says that. Holy Mackinac, Ralphie. What a
Holy
save.
Mackinac. He tripped him, Ralphie. Where's the call? He tripped him.
Joe Bowen, yeah. Joe Bowen stole that from the Ticats, probably, yeah.
That's true. Drew's right. Bunch of CFL drunks, the Box J boys. All right, Babano. Great stuff. Thanks for the time, buddy.
Oh, that was awesome, Gabe. Have a good night. Good luck to all of our viewers and you this weekend. Kill the football books. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Holy Mackinac. Thanks, Babano. Great stuff with Ian Cameron. Check him out, sportsmemo.com, SBR Picks. Of course, he's the co-host of The Roundtable. That's the thing with people in Hamilton, though. They hate Toronto, yet you rip off Holy Mackinac. Holy Mackinac. That's the Toronto Maple Leafs, the old guy. They fired the guy. They pushed him out of town, though. Joe Bowen. He's been around forever. I was in an elevator once with Joe Bowen and Harry Neal. Fuck. I swear to God, man, I've never seen more vessels and booze nose in my life. I've been around a lot of boozers in my life, but I was, you're in an elevator, right? I'm in a press box. I'm in an elevator, so I'm really close to them. And it was the first time I ever saw Harry Neal in person. And I looked at Harry Neal's nose, man. It was no skin. It was just all vessels, fuck. It was just all vessels. It was fucking red as fuck. And I just looked at Harry Neal. I looked at it. I was like, dear God, this guy's drank a lot. Fuck. And Bowen, man, looked like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He had a red nose, red cheeks, just booze fucking face. And I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, dear God, these guys have drank a lot. And right out of the gate, fucking Bowen said to Neil, can't wait to grab a cold one, Harry. And Neil's like, I can't wait too, Joe. In the elevator, he's thinking to get out of the press box, fucking elevator, give us a beer. Where's a beer? Give us a beer. Where's a beer? Give me a beer. No, we're not doing the conspiracy theories tonight. Joe Bowen's a big Notre Dame fan. He's a big Notre Dame fan. He loves the Irish, Fighting Irish. Fighting Irish are laying 21 to Miami of Ohio. I know it's a tough game. I had Mark Lawrence on today. Mark Lawrence thinks the Redhawks are the play at plus 21. Yeah, we're not going to talk about Stevie Wonder not being blind. I'm still freaked out by that. I swear to God, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to take a quick break here right now. We're going to take a quick break. And we're going to take a quick break, but during the break, just punch in on YouTube, fucker, wherever, Stevie Wonder not blind. Just punch in. This is what I want you to look at. Stevie Wonder, Paul McCartney mic drop. So basically, they're on a stage. Paul McCartney accidentally knocks the mic stand over. And Stevie Wonder reaches his hand out like Patrick Waugh and snags it out of the air. He gave it away. The instinct, the human instinct of him trying to catch it gave away the scam. Yeah, that's the only conspiracy theory we're talking about tonight. Right now, we're going to take a quick break. Smoke them if you got them. Do what you got to do. And take a quick. Wow. That was weird. That's what we call fade to black. That's what we call fade to black. Never happened to me before on this show. We're back. No, I'd never seen that before. Basically, it said resume Google Hangout. It said my computer went to sleep. It said my computer went to sleep, resume Google Hangout, and then it just went black. But nevertheless, we're back. We back. Husky wee wee. Husky wawa. Holy Mackinac. Eat 'em raw. I guess it is a little bit to step up than UNLV's fucking fight song. UNLV. Go fight, win. All right, level 3, Wicked Wednesday. Fake Brandon, gone. I would have booted him earlier, but I don't pay attention to the chat like throughout the entire show. So I peek in, I look. I know as soon as I turn away for a second, I'm sure fucking, something's going on and we have an impersonator in there. But yeah, fake Brandon. Fake Brandon. It's fake Brandon in St. Louis. I saw earlier Brandon in St. Louis was talking about Thunder Bay, all right? Brandon in St. Louis fucking never heard of Thunder Bay before, let alone been to Thunder Bay, all right? They'll tell Brandon, hey, you got fake fucking impersonators. What's going on here in the late night hours? Andrew wants to get off a topic. We're always off topic. Fuck. Yeah, that's true. Brandon would know Thunder Bay from Stacy. Danger Bay. My grandfather's from Thunder Bay, but he's so old. It was before it was called Thunder Bay. It was Port Hope, fuck, I think. He's actually in the Thunder Bay Sports Hall of Fame. I like to go there and check it out. I've never been to Thunder Bay. Yeah, no shit. My grandfather's in the Thunder Bay Sports Hall of Fame. Tough dudes from up there, So Rick Pitino. I heard it earlier today. Oh, Rick Pitino's fired. Rick Pitino's not fired. He's not fired. And the funniest thing is I saw Will Hill today tweeting out that all bets are final. People are actually out there asking if the bet is void on your Louisville future. No, your bet's not void. Tough shit. You bet on Louisville and they're corrupt, they cheated, and their coach is gone. What do you want me to tell you? That's ridiculous. This is going to keep on coming, though. like I said earlier on the radio show on the Fantasy Sports Network, my guess is Bruce Pearl is fired at Auburn in the next 24 to 48 hours. How is Bruce Pearl going to survive this? So what? You know what? Chuck Pearson, your your assistant coach, you didn't know about anything? Come on. Like I said, Rick Pitino not knowing that the assistant coach gave a kid $100,000 in Adidas. Rick Pitino's so full of shit, man. Like, you're so full of shit, Rick. That's the thing with you. If you just shut up and admit it. I don't expect you to admit it and say, yeah, what do you want me to do? Yeah, we were paying recruits. Whatever, man. Everyone's doing it. We all know it. But don't come out with this fake shit about, you're going to sue. He released a statement tonight through his attorney that he hasn't had his due process with the university, and it's unfair. And unless, he gets his just, he's basically threatening to sue Louisville through his lawyer. It's like, yeah, you know what? I would respond back if I was Louisville to him. And I'd tell him, bring it on. Sue us. Sue us. You sue us. You come to court and you testify under oath that you didn't cheat, that you didn't bang a chick in your fucking office, that you didn't give hookers to the players. Come on, man. Just shut up, dude, because he wants this. He's owed $55 million. It's a lot of money. Pitino doesn't get it. It's in the contract, basically, that if they see that it's that he's embarrassing the school, whatever, they have a clause. He's embarrassed the school. You're out, dude. But he wants his $55 million. You don't get it. You're lucky you didn't get fired when you fucked the chick in your office, okay? And it's so funny because Cam brought this up. Rick, oh, fuck me. The Angels just won. Fuck off. Fucking. Oh, sorry. The White Sox just beat the Angels. Fuck. I was on the Angels. Fuck. Fuck off. Fucking baseball. Just bring on the playoffs, man. Fuck this bullshit. So, yeah, so Rick Pitino, what are you going to do, Rick? You're going to sue them? Really? Louisville knows everything about you. They know about all the fucking cheating. All you can do is bring them down with you if you want. You can say they knew and, they did know. That's a lot of money, though, $55 million. So I can see why he doesn't care about audacity on this. So, yeah, Rick Pitino goes down. Bruce Pearl is going to be next, I would imagine. Nike are under investigation now. Today was FBI called it Nike Day. Yesterday was Adidas Day. Today's Nike Day. So the shoe didn't, pardon the pun, but the shoe didn't come down yet. The foot didn't come down yet on the Nike schools, which it's going to. Like, we could wake up tomorrow and find out that all these Nike schools coaches just got arrested by the feds. There are college basketball coaches right now that are living in more fear than Mexican drug cartels, dealers. You know what I mean? Like, you're a college basketball coach. You're not really a criminal, but you've committed criminal acts. So you're sitting there, thinking, holy fuck. Imagine, seriously, how many college basketball coaches, big name guys, are sitting at home right now just fucking praying that their fucking phone doesn't ring and it's not their fucking agent or lawyer saying, oh, shit, sorry, Coach K, but we're in a lot of trouble here. Somebody just talked. We're in a lot of trouble. And the thing is, it's one thing if the NCAA pokes around. You can lie to the NCAA. You know what I mean? You can lie under oath to the NCAA, whatever. You can lie in your sworn statement to the NCAA and whatever. It is what it is. But it's a little different when you have the federal government and the fucking FBI. You can't lie to them. You can't lie to them. And these college kids, they're all going to talk, right? Because they're going to be scared of jail time and shit. So everyone's going to rat each other out. No one's going to be safe in this thing. I don't know why the feds give a shit, personally. It's a victimless crime. What do you give a fuck? What do you care if Chuck Pearson got $40,000? It's ridiculous. Nobody's getting hurt. Fuck. It's a victimless crime. It's part of the American fabric, college sports world. You guys want to clean it up, really? Who cares? Why don't you go find some missing children or something? It's ridiculous, but it's going to come down. But I just thought it was funny that Will Hill actually had to tweet out, no, your bets are final. Who's betting on Louisville at this time of the year anyways? That Patino fires back at Louisville. Fuck you. What a sleazeball. The funny thing is, Patino released a statement saying, you know, shoe companies are evil and have to get out of college basketball. Meanwhile, Patino took more money from shoes companies than anyone else did a couple of years ago. It's fucking comical. He's so full of shit. So full of shit. Like I said, I'd respect him more if he just shut up. Fuck. Whatever. You shut up, you get fired, you end up in the NBA this year, next year. Next year. Pretty simple. Actually, I don't know if Patino would end up in the NBA. He hasn't coached in the NBA in a long time. Patino will end up on TV, my guess is. Look, he was on ESPN last week. Like, I noticed Bill O'Reilly's back on Fox all the time now on Hannity's show. You really sent a great message, Fox. You would, like, at this point, just give him his fucking show back then. You know, if he's so evil that you have to take him off the air, okay. But, you know, he's so evil we have to take a show away, but we don't have a problem with him doing guest hits on Hannity now. What is it? It's one or the fucking other. Tiger Woods admits he may never play competitive golf again. I'm not going to take pot shots at Tiger, but I knew this. We all knew. Tiger's done. Tiger's been done for a couple of years. Tiger couldn't beat anybody on the tour right now. Tiger couldn't qualify for the tour right now. It's crazy to say this, but it's true. Honestly, if Tiger Woods went to the Q school this year, right now, next week, he wouldn't qualify. Like, the upstart kids would beat the shit out of him. Tiger Woods took steroids for all those years, man. That's the icing on the cake. Look, he was a cheater on his wife. I think he's a cheater on the course too. Tiger Woods took steroids. Nobody else was at that time, and it's caught up to him. That's why his body broke down. You know, Tiger Woods is more beat up than Brett Favre is. Like, how? They're like, oh, he had a violent swing. Yeah, he did have a violent swing. He did. Like, he had a bad swing, and everybody said it's sort of like a pitcher. Like, you know, you're gonna hurt your elbow throwing like that. Like, Tiger was warned. Like, dude, like, you're gonna fucking rip your fucking shoulders off swinging like this. But, you know, the steroids lead to your body being more brittle, and that's the deal with Tiger. George, yeah, you're a big golfer. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, George. Tiger Woods was fucking epic. He's one of the greatest golfers ever. I remember years ago when like people like were saying, oh, he's going to smash Jack Nicklaus's major record. I told people, chill out, man. It's hard to get that far. You got to pace yourself. I'm not here to criticize Tiger Woods. The guy was an epic golfer, had an epic fucking career. I don't like seeing him like this. It's got to be tough for him because Tiger lost everything suddenly. You know what I mean? It was just like overnight, fuck. You know, boom, I can't play anymore. It was just one of these deals where he can't play anymore. Like, he can't play. It's fucking can you imagine in his head? Because he's still young in his head, but his body can't do it. He can't play. He can't play. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, Tiger Woods would lose on the Q tour at the school. Like, he can't beat young kids. Like, the guys on the tour would murder him. Yeah, Tiger Woods couldn't play with Justin Thomas right now. And Justin Thomas would win by fucking 12 holes, fuck. 12 strokes. They'd kill him. In the old days, Tiger was hitting it far and shit. Now they all hit it far. You know, like, it's just changed. They all hit it far. No, Tiger, exactly. No, like you said, Jess, Tiger cannot play golf anymore. And this is the first time that I've heard him say this. And I'm glad to hear him say this. Because if you guys remember, up to about 6 months ago, he was talking about coming back and playing at the Masters and shit. The Masters. Dude, the only reason you play the Masters is because you fucking have a free exemption pass for the rest of your life if you want. You know, that's what I would do if I was Tiger. Like, I would take a couple of years off. And if you're feeling it in 2 or 3 years, Tiger, you know, start playing a bit and, you know, enter the Masters or something on it, you know, on your free pass type shit, like Mike Weir does now. But, you know, you can't be on tour. You can't play on a weekly basis. You can't compete with the best in the world anymore. And it must be so hard because you're the best in the world. So, you know, I said this before about Tiger. I said this a couple of months ago, actually. I saw this coming. And obviously Tiger's having personal problems. Like him getting wasted and shit is totally correlated with him not being able to play anymore. You know, he must be sitting there just popping pills, drinking, thinking, oh, fuck, what am I going to do? Fuck, you know? The thing is, I underestimated how much money Tiger had. Because, you know, that the blonde, the wife took like $300 million from him. But it turns out that Tiger still has $700 to $800 million. That's a lot of money. So, you know, Tiger, you were forced to play golf from a baby. Enjoy your life, bro. Fuck the hookers. Do the porn stars. Like, live it up. Seriously, you're out of golf. Who cares? Fucking invite fucking all the porn chicks over to your place in Orlando and have a big fucking orgy if you want. Do what you want. You know what I mean? But my whole thing with Tiger is he needs to find something to do because he's so competitive. Me personally, I said this before. With Tiger. He should buy the Orlando Magic. He lives in Orlando. Buy the Orlando Magic. You know, get into competition again. You know, Tiger, you know, Michael Jordan owns Charlotte. Buy fucking Orlando, man. Call Jordan up and say, hey, what's up, Mike? I just bought the fucking Magic. I'm in the NBA. I'm ready to compete. Let's go. You know, buy the Magic. You know, become a, you know, buy a share of an NFL team. You know, become a television analyst. Imagine Tiger, man, fucking the networks would fucking pay him fucking $10 million a year. Seriously, imagine that. Tiger Woods is doing the Masters golf coverage. You're telling me that if Tiger Woods' agent called ESPN, CBS, and Fox and said, listen, Tiger's available to be an analyst, but you're going to have to pay pretty nice. They'd be on a fucking helicopter to his fucking place in 30 seconds. They'd be like, well, I guarantee they'd be like, okay. They'd tell his agent, listen, we want in. Don't talk to any other network. I'm on my way right now. I'll be there in the morning. We're going to meet at the fucking Marriott Orlando, and we'll have a contract ready. The network, it would be a bidding war. Imagine Jim Nantz and Tiger Woods during a Masters. Well, Tiger, you've been here before. Tell us what it's like. Money. And you're still in golf, Tiger. You'd be on tour. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be any pressure on you. You'd be making a shitload of money. You could get $10, $15 million a year, I think. It would be a bidding war. Bidding war. It wouldn't just be like, oh, yeah, he needs to audition. There would be no auditions. There would be no nothing. It would just be, what does he want? Fuck. You tell him. He wants $12 million a year and all expenses paid. Hotels, flights, everything paid, plus 12 mil cash or like, you know, into the bank. Exactly. And like Jazz says, and you throw in, and he's allowed to wear his Nike stuff during all broadcasts. You know, he wears his Nike golf products on all broadcasts. And they would take it. Like, they would take it. They'd bend over. Fox and NBC would be the big ones. Fox gets criticized for their coverage. Fox had a shitload of money. Fox would be all over it. NBC would be all over it. CBS might be a little bit hesitant. CBS is very pure. And CBS doesn't like paying big money to people. You know, NBC and Fox, they're like, look at Megyn Kelly and shit. Like, NBC and Fox will like, yeah, we'll give Megyn Kelly $22 million a year. And if it doesn't work, we'll fire her. Like, that's the way they look. They don't care. It's General Electric. Fuck, they got the money. Yeah, that's the thing. Fox only has one tournament, the U.S. Open. Yeah, so you could offer them, $1 million for a weekend type shit, but it's not a full-time job. Yeah, good call, Stooch. Man, yeah, fucking Johnny Miller and Tiger Woods in the booth together. Holy shit, it'd be great. I'm not even a golf aficionado, diehard, and even I'm like, man, you guys got to hire Tiger Woods. If I was running a TV, I've been in TV a long time. The second, Tiger Woods just released a statement earlier today saying, I don't think I'll play competitive golf again. They said, it doesn't look good. Tiger just admitted it to himself. I'd be on the phone already. I wouldn't wait for him to put a thing out. If I was fucking ESPN or NBC or CBS or any of these people right now, I'd be calling them saying, Tiger, we love you. You're the greatest golfer ever. We want you to be, you want to be part of golf? You can be part of our coverage. That's what I was thinking, Johnny Miller. Well, when I was here, I shot 67. Tiger would be like, yeah, I won here 4 times, Johnny, and I know this course pretty well. Tiger would be like, I remember when I won my 11th major championship. Tiger would be dropping shit. I remember when I won my fucking 4th Masters. The feeling when I won my 3rd Masters was really something. Yeah, and golf is a young man's game now. I hate to say it, guys, but I think Vito might be onto something. What's up, Chris Edge? My main man in San Diego, class act. I think Vito might be onto something. You guys know there's no love lost between me and the Washington Nationals, but I think this might be the Nationals' year. I think the Nationals could I think it's going to be the Dodgers and the Nationals in the National League Championship Series. As it is right now, if I'm picking the World Series, I say it's the Dodgers versus the Cleveland Indians. I know I'm not going out on a limb and saying that, but that's what I say. Dodgers versus Cleveland Indians. For the record, before the year started, I said the Dodgers would beat the Red Sox in the World Series. So I picked the Dodgers before the year started. I said they'd beat the Red Sox. It's a problem, Drew. It happens. I was worried about it. When you're a great team in baseball and you kick the shit out of everybody like the Dodgers and the Nationals did, you get bored. You're 90 and 50. You're up by 18 games. It's fucking August, and you can't play hard every day. And even the manager doesn't want you to play hard every day because you're going to get burnt out. So you're just sort of in this weird mode. But I think the Dodgers are back on track now, Drew. They went through their funk. I think they needed that. They needed a cold shower. They got it. The Dodgers are back. I think the Nationals will be fine. The Nationals have done a good job managing this. Dusty Baker's done a good job. They haven't really ever tanked the Nationals. Well, that's the thing with baseball. This is off the top of my head, but I believe the number is over the last 15 years, only 5 times the team with the best record won the World Series. Like Amar is talking about here. Yeah, they're the best team. Now, pitching, Baz, in the playoffs is what counts. Bullpens. Cleveland, they're just not a sexy team, Cleveland, but they're an efficient team. They got a great bullpen. They got great starting pitching. They got clutch hitting. They got a great manager in Francona. Cleveland are a fucking load to deal with, guys. I wouldn't want to. Cleveland are tough to deal with. In a 5-game and a 7-game series, Cleveland are not fun to play against. Man, I remember last year I thought the Red Sox would beat the Indians, and the Indians swept them. Yeah, that pitching with the Astros, I can't discount it. Justin Verlander's look great. Dallas Keuchel. Thing with the Astros is you got a lot of young guys, not a lot of postseason experience. You can't write the Astros off. Mr. Baz says Cleveland stink. Yeah, Cleveland stink. They won 22 games in a row. I love you, Mr. Baz, but Cleveland do not stink. Maybe the city stinks. Baz, the Cleveland Indians are 99-59. They're 40 games over 500. They're 40 games over 500, dude. They're 46-31 at home. So they're good at home. They're even better on the road. They're 53-28 on the road. So that in the playoffs, that's good. They're not, they win on the road. They're good against everybody. They're 22-12 against the American League East. They're 47-25 against the American League Central. They're 24-8 against the American League West. So there's not one domain that the Cleveland Indians are like, oh fuck, this isn't good. They're a complete fucking baseball team. It's only been the last few days I've talked myself into this because now the playoffs are coming, so we got to get serious about this next week. And where I'm sitting right now, I'm buying what the Cleveland Indians are selling. I'm buying what the Indians are selling. So they'll play the winner of the wild card. So it'll be the Indians versus the winner of the Twins and the Yankees. The Yankees will probably beat the Twins. They'll have Severino pitching. The game will be in New York. That'll be what, next Tuesday? Twins at Yankees. That's if it plays out, but it's going to play out like this. The Twins, it's pretty much locked up. Especially with the Angels losing now tonight, it's over. And Minnesota's in. It'll be Minnesota versus the Yankees, unless the Yankees catch the Red Sox, which they won't. So it'll be Minnesota versus the Yankees, and then the winner will play the Cleveland Indians. And the Cleveland Indians will beat either the Yankees or the Twins. So that means it'll be the Houston Astros versus the Boston Red Sox. Astros versus Red Sox, I'd take the Astros. Republic Sunshine, Astros bullpen a little bit weaker, yeah. Who would you guys take, Boston or versus Houston? 5-game series. I'll take the Astros to beat the Red Sox in 5. I'm not saying in 5 in the game, but I'm saying I think the Astros will beat the Red Sox in the series. I think so. Then you would have the Astros versus the Indians in the American League. And I think the Indians beat the Astros to go to the World Series. If we take a look at the National League, Dodgers have the best record, so they'll play the wild card winner, which it'll most likely, it's going to be Colorado versus Arizona. That's not going to be easy for the Dodgers, actually. As a Dodger fan, I'm not overly excited about this. And as a Dodger fan, I'd rather play Colorado. No disrespect to Colorado, but I don't want to deal with Arizona. Arizona are good. Arizona have good pitching. The Dodgers and Arizona are a big fucking rivalry, too. Colorado's not a big rival to us. They don't like us and shit, but Arizona's different. Like, Arizona and the Dodgers really don't get along. It'll be really heated and fucking – they've got good pitching. I don't like that, man. I don't want to deal with Greinke and shit. I don't want to deal with Greinke, but we might have to. So it'll be Colorado at Arizona in the wild card game. And Arizona's going to have Zach Greinke going. So the only thing with these wild card teams is it fucks them up. I don't like the one-game wild card. If you can have a wild card, just play a best of 2 or 3. It's so random, this bullshit. And then they pretend they made the playoffs. You played one game, fuck, right? It's not really the playoffs. I don't really count this little wild card. I call it a play-in. To me, the real playoffs are when you play a series. But what happens is these teams get put in a weird spot because you have a one game. So if you're the Arizona Cardinal, if you're Arizona Diamondbacks on Tuesday, you're pitching Zach Greinke. You can't lose the game. Your season's over. It's the most important game. But then what happens is then your best pitcher can't pitch in game one of the playoff series. So you know what? That's the punishment of being a wild card. I can live with it. And I almost like that aspect of it. That, you know what? You're lucky you're even here, motherfuckers. So don't give me this bullshit about who's pitching. You know, I almost like this aspect of it, but it really does fuck teams up. Because then you have to start your ace in the wild card game. Then he's not ready to go, and he can't pitch 2 times in a 5-game series. And you know, it's a domino effect. I guarantee you, Dan Patrick, that I guarantee you the Dodgers want to play the Rockies. They don't want to deal with Arizona. They don't want to deal with Arizona. Let's see, Dodgers. Fuck, I can't. I don't know. Where's the fucking thing just with the Dodgers here? Dodgers splits. All right, there, let's go. Split statistics, yes. Oh, fuck, this is pissing me off. I'm getting a headache here. I want to see the Dodgers record against Colorado and the Dodgers record against Arizona. You know, somebody's QQ Wilson saying take the dog in every game. I'll tell you what, baseball playoffs, early to playoffs, betting on dogs is the way to go, actually. So it would be the Dodgers. Dodgers get the wild card winner, and then so it would be the Cubs and the Nationals playing. Fuck, poor Nationals. And then the Nationals will probably fucking lose. The Nationals will lose. And that'll be that again. I'm not a big fan of the Cubs. I don't know why. I have no reason to dislike the Cubs, but I'm not on that Cub band. I'm not on the lovable loser bandwagon and shit. Yeah, you know, it's good they won. I'm happy for the longtime fans. You won. It's like me being a Bill fan. It'd be nice to win one. So I give you that, but I don't buy into the Cubs magic and shit. I don't pull for the Cubs. Yeah, I'll have to do some research. My mind is fried right now, guys. I don't want to be clicking around looking for shit. But before the playoffs start, obviously, we'll find out one of the reasons. Yeah, Kyle Schwarber. Yeah, I'm not a big Schwarber fan. I just don't like how the media kisses his ass like he's Babe Ruth or something. I'm aware the Nationals are playoff chokers, but they always have injuries in the playoffs. This is as healthy as they're ever going to be, man. You got Scherzer, you got Strasburg, you got Gio Gonzalez. Quick future, Major League Baseball future check. LA Dodgers plus 333 to win the World Series. Cleveland Indians plus 375. Houston Astros plus 500. Washington Nationals plus 700. Chicago Cubs plus 750. Boston Red Sox plus 800. New York Yankees plus 1,200. Arizona plus 16. Minnesota Twins plus 25. Rockies plus 35. So, look, if you notice, there's big value, guys, in taking the teams going to play in the wild card. Like, the Arizona Diamondbacks are 16-1 right now because they have to play a one-off. But they win that one-off, the odds are going to get cut in half to like 8-1. Yeah, I'm on the favorite side here. I think the Dodgers and the Indians are the teams to beat. Roman Arturo, he's got the Nats and the Yankees. Yeah, there's always, because you know what it is, Amar? And Drew mentioned it. The teams that run away with shit have a hard time. I know it sounds cliche, but you have a team that's been playing competitive, live or die baseball for the last month, as opposed to a team that's been fucking up by fucking 40 games over 500 all year. Suddenly the team, the team that's been coasting all years, they're like, holy fuck, these guys are fucking really into this. Like, they're really, like, it's another level they're playing at. That's why teams with the best record rarely win in baseball. But I do believe what Gogster's saying. I like the Dodgers' momentum here. The Dodgers hit rock bottom. They got pissed off, and now you notice they're kicking the shit out of teams again. I'm a Dodger fan. I know the psyche of this team. I like what I see. The stadium's rocking here. Everything's good. The clubhouse is fine. And everything's fine. The only thing is Alex Wood. Alex Wood's got to pitch well. And that's the thing, too, I will say about the Cubs and the Nationals. The Cubs pitching is suspect. Arrieta can't be trusted right now. Lester's tired. You're going to trust Montgomery? Yeah, no one's talking about the Yankees. Yankees have a puncher's chance against anybody. I can see the Yankees losing in the first round, though. I think the Yankees make the playoffs and then get knocked out. I think if you're looking at the best value on the board right now, I would say the Arizona Diamondbacks is 16-1. The Diamondbacks could beat the Dodgers, and they could beat the Cubs or Nationals. It's not impossible. So it's 16-1. I think that's a good value pick. I hate to say it, the Cubs at plus 750. The Cubs aren't getting a lot of respect from the odds maker here. I stand by my assessment. We'll do a real baseball preview. Dave Malinsky's great with baseball. Monday night, we'll talk playoff baseball with Dave. We'll talk a lot of playoff baseball once the playoff starts. It's going to be a great time next week. NHL hockey, playoff baseball, football, and everything. But, yeah, I stand by my thoughts. Dodgers versus Indians. That's what I say right now. Dodgers versus Indians. All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with some final closing thoughts on this Wicked Wednesday. listening to the sweet sounds of the late night anger management class, SPR. And hey now, if you like the programming, go over to SPR.com and make sure to click one of the Sportsbook banners to support the programming of SPR, such as Babano, Pistol Pete, Donnie Rightside, Big Man on Campus, Jimmy the Bag, Ed Fang, and of course the late night anger management class, me. Hey, you guys don't support it. We're back. We're back to Patreon. We're back to Patreon talking about 9/11 conspiracies. All right, so yeah, we're out of here. We appreciate everybody tuning in here. Thanks, George. Will Mitchell's bring up all the wild cards, man. I'm telling you, I know those hot teams as underdogs. Those hot teams as underdogs. All right, so for the record, tomorrow night, tune in to Game Time Decisions tomorrow at 2 o'clock live on the Fantasy Sports Network after you watch Donnie Rightside and Big Man on Campus and everybody. But Thursday Night Football, I know I'm going public here, but give me Aaron Rodgers. Fuck. Let's not oversimplify things, all right, and overcomplicate things. Let's, you're giving me Aaron Rodgers -7 against who? Mike Glennon? Okay, check. So I'll give me the Green Bay Packers. I'll tease the game to the over to 38. Tomorrow, the college tomorrow night. Give me the Iowa State Cyclones plus the points. Give me the Iowa State Cyclones on the money line. And give me the Texas and Iowa State to go over the number. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Will Mitchell, Ian Cameron, Amar, Republic, Drew Zilla, Mr. Baz. Jim Kelly's all right. I just got worked up. Gogster, Bobbert, Vito, Roman, Lewis, my main man, Chris Edge, and everybody else, Wilson. Everyone else I don't see in the chat. Andrew G. You guys are good guys. Thanks for tuning in here tonight. Thanks for the support. And other than that, you're on your own. Later.